Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. Konoha. Naruto, don't follow the rules. Chapter 81. A fox tail suddenly appeared, swept over Kurama's head, and immediately, Kurama started looking for Naruto. It knew that with Naruto's speed it would definitely dodge, and its own attack would miss, but it didn't know where he would appear. Kurama. Quote question mark exclamation mark quote. What's the situation? Why is it still on my head? Naruto sat on Kurama's head, stretched out his hand and touched it. Well, it felt good. Hiss. Naruto's stroking made Kurama's hair all over. This is even more disgusting than Senju Hashirama grabbing it with Wooden Golem's big hand. Get off me. Kurama jumped up and flipped in the air, trying to throw Naruto off. Lightning flashed, and Naruto returned to the ground. Kurama also stabilized his body and looked at Naruto viciously. This guy. The touch on his head just now reminded Kurama of the old man. Little devil, can you only dance? Escape. Then I won't escape. Naruto nodded. Since you have said so, let's have some dry goods. Kurama, be careful. Although this may remind you of bad memories, these are the only tricks I can use. Naruto's words made Kurama puzzled. Bad memory. All its bad memories are brought by Uchiha Madara and Senju Hashirama. But what strength are they, and what strength are you? Then, under Kurama's gaze, Naruto clasped his hands together. Wood-style birth of the tree world. Grass. Boom. Huge vines suddenly emerged from the ground, and grew rapidly, winding towards Nine Tails. Boom. While dodging, Nine Tails smashed the rushing giant log with its paws, cursing even more. No wonder saying it reminds it of bad memories. If you use wood style, will it still feel better? This kid hides so deep. It's been so long, but there is no information about him knowing wood style. Is it just to shade it here? Senju Hashirama's wood style has everything, what else can't it? Etc. It's too late. Kurama suddenly remembered, this brat still has Sharingan. Naruto used Hashirama cells for Izumi before, and it can see clearly. This brat has gathered the power of the two people it hates the most. Simply incredible. Is this something a human can do? Kurama didn't understand. Not too good, there is no sage mode, and using wood style consumes too much chakra. Naruto is only 6 years old this year, and his body is not yet fully developed. Even though his chakra has passed the system and exceeded the general level, Senju Hashirama's wood style is a big eater of chakra. Don't you see that the wood style of Ninja God can kneel 9 tails, while Yamato's wood style can only be used to build houses? The gap can be seen in Madara. In this case, Naruto will not be able to use Wooden Golem Jutsu and Buddha on the top for the time being. A little disappointed. Birth of the Tree Bound failed to suppress Kurama, which made Kurama proud. Little ghost, you're not very good, is there chakra? Just now Naruto used wood style, it was a surprise. Let it recall again the humiliation of being suppressed by Senju Hashirama. But then it discovered that this wood style was not powerful enough to completely defeat it. It is also known to be insufficient amount of Naruto chakra. But even so, Kurama can also predict that one day in the future, he will really be unable to beat Naruto. After all, the restraint of the beast is simply not good. Almost gone. Naruto nodded obediently. So, while you still have it, try new skills. HMPH, come on. Don't think I'm afraid of you. Kurama is very arrogant. Don't get complacent, Susanoo. Naruto closed his eyes, then opened them abruptly. The original blue pupils also turned into complicated patterns. The right eye is in the shape of a pinwheel, and it is Tsukuyomi of Itachi. The left eye is in the shape of a shuriken, which is the Emperor's Kamui. Susanoo is unlocked when both Mangekyo's powers are used simultaneously. A fuchsia bust frame wrapped around Naruto's body. Well, it was only half the height of Kurama. Kurama didn't move either, it looked at Naruto with mockery in its eyes. That's it, or wait a few years to come again. I might not be able to beat you in the future, but now. Hey, let me show you what the power of a tailed beast is. Thinking so, Kurama opened his mouth, and the powerful chakra condensed in front of its mouth, turning into a black sphere. Tailed Beast Bomb. Kurama, you are so cruel, you have lived with me for so long, is this how you treat me? Naruto looked at Kurama in surprise. Tisk tisk, playing a bit too big. Naruto cancelled Susanoo. It's so annoying. These big moves are still experience cards for the time being, and they can't completely fly Naruto. I have to grow up a bit to increase the amount of chakra. Oh, there is also fairy art, which has to be learned. Kurama's mouth was busy at this time, unable to speak, but its eyes had already told Naruto. Kurama said, "You think it is happy to live here. Haven't you been forced? Live freely, but run into a cage, do you think it is a fool? Moreover, today you took the initiative to come to the door. Then don't blame me for being rude. Although the tailed beast bomb may not be able to hit you, but this is the sealed space. Once the tailed beast bomb explodes, where will you hide? With your small body, even if you get blown, you will be seriously injured. Go to hell, brat." Kurama didn't hold back. The current relationship between it and Naruto is just like that. It wants to get rid of the seal wholeheartedly. As for Naruto's life and death, the llama doesn't care at all. As for the 10 tails that Naruto said, hasn't it happened yet? Who knows if it's true or not? After all, Naruto has lessons learned. For the time being, Kurama plans to go out first before talking. Quote. It's really troublesome. Fortunately, it can be elementalized. Even if it can't be elementalized, Naruto still has Kamui. It's just that if he uses Kamui to enter the Kamui space and meets Obito, it will be embarrassing. Once found, Obito will definitely find a way to get the eye back. After all, without a Mangekyo's Obito, his strength is greatly reduced, and if this eye is here with Naruto, it will also make Obito restless all night. My secret space is exposed, who knows if I will be stabbed one day. In Obito's view, Naruto is not Kakashi, and Naruto has a lot of tricks, so he will definitely discover Kamui's secret. And with Kakashi's chakra amount, it seems that Kakashi can't let Kakashi run in through Sharingan by himself. But Naruto can. In other words, at this time, Kakashi didn't know that his eyes had broken through. Wait, Kamui, Obito shouldn't be killed by a tailed beast bomb. Jiao Jiaos. I hope you can survive, ugly. With a smile on the corner of Naruto's mouth, facing the flying tailed beast bomb, he activated Kamui. Alright, this is my meeting gift for you. Then let Konan take Itachi and Naruto to find the rest of the members. I'm going to Kurigakure, the things there are not over yet. Obito asked Nagato and Konan. Generally speaking, he does not intervene in matters organized by Akatsuki, lest Nagato suspect, and there is no doubt that even if he is in Mist Shinobi, he can know all the news. Nagato and Konan nodded, and waited until the recruitment of members was completed, then went to do the task, as a mercenary, to accumulate money and prepare for the future. After Obito finished speaking, he activated Kamui, and his body turned into a vortex and disappeared in place. Then, as soon as Obito entered, he saw a small black ball flying towards him and hit him in the face. He was puzzled and didn't recognize what it was at first, but then, tailed beast bomb. Obito instantly understood the strong oppressive force. Kakashi, I'm so sorry for you. Boom. With a loud bang, the entire Kamui space shook several times, and even several of the tall stone platforms in the space were blown apart. After everything subsided, a figure slowly emerged. At this time, Obito was extremely embarrassed. The mask on his face had disappeared, the clothes on his body had become strips of cloth, and his right hand was blown off again. As soon as he appeared, he fell to the ground. Phew, Kakashi, sooner or later I'll kill you. Obito has become like this, but he still didn't think about getting Kakashi's eye back. It's true love. Obito touched his left eye with his left hand, where there was a Sharingan that had turned white. Fortunately, Obito was very cautious and installed a 3-tomo Sharingan there, otherwise he would have been completely finished just now. You know, he just used Kamui to come back here, there is no time to get out. Fortunately, Izanagi was successfully launched at the moment of the explosion, and Obito was only slightly injured. The explosion of the tailed beast bomb made him feel very uncomfortable and very manic. I thought it would be fine for Kakashi to throw detonators, fire styles, water styles, shurikens, and kunai here at ordinary times. It turned out that he was dreaming and never thought that Kakashi would go there in 10 days. Throw tailed beast bomb here. Is Kakashi stupid? Dare to be tough with the tailed beast. Do you think you have a long life? What is he thinking? Obito was on the verge of crying. Successful anti-routine, acquired skill, Mass burst magic that decomposes mass into energy, according to Einstein's formula, transforms mass multiplied by the square of the speed of light into energy. A drop of water, 50 milligrams of mass decomposition released. The heat is 1 kiloton of TNT equivalent. Sealing the space, Naruto looked at the skill introduction and was stunned. If this thing goes down with a spell, isn't it a nuclear explosion? With the power of 1,000 tons of TNT and W-54 nuclear fuel inside, the fireball area of the mushroom cloud will be nearly 10,000 square meters when it explodes. All life forms within this range will receive high temperature, high pressure, etc., all VIP treatment in the central area of the nuclear explosion, and purchase radiation killing of neutrons and gamma rays and so on, 1 for 1. I am from Baidu, not sure if it is. This magic is enough to destroy a city. Naruto squatted down, dipped his hands in water, put it in front of his eyes, and let the water drip naturally. Just such a drop of water, if you use mass burst, its power can be comparable to tailed beast bomb. Naruto even wanted to try it right away. But thinking that this is his sealed space after all, or in his stomach, he still gave up. Don't take risks, lest you play with fire and burn yourself. Did my tailed beast bomb shift? Kurama was upset to see his attack fail. This time space ninjutsu is very restrained. Previously had Namikaze Minato's flying thunder god, diverted its tailed beast bomb. There is now Mangekyo Sharingan's pupil art. What the hell, your family learned these ninjutsu just to deal with me, right? Roar. In this case, the powerful tailed beast bomb can't be hit, and there is a risk of being transferred, so let's use the smaller one. Kurama opened his mouth again, condensed the tailed beast bomb, and at about the same time, bit down, and then fired at Naruto, who was squatting on the ground and didn't know what he was thinking. Boom. This time it was not transferred. Kurama was very satisfied. Naruto's body turned into lightning and appeared on the other side. Seeing this, Kurama immediately turned his head to attack. This less powerful tailed beast bomb allows Kurama to attack continuously. Immediately, there were constant explosions in the sealed space, and water splashed everywhere. Fortunately, this space is still strong and can withstand tossing. But going on like this is not an option, you have to move the battlefield. With a whoosh, Naruto disappeared. Kurama lost his target and was about to turn his head to look for it, when a figure appeared beside its huge eyes. Yo, Kurama, let's talk somewhere else. Tsukuyomi. You. Kurama saw the Mangekyo Sharingan's light in Naruto's right eye, and felt sick all of a sudden. It's the eyes again, it's the illusion bed again. The picture spun around in an instant, and Kurama saw himself in a vast forest, which looked familiar. It turned its head and looked around, realizing that it should have come to the illusion world. Sage art wood style wooden golem jutsu. Boom. The loud noise caught Kurama's attention, and a huge wooden golem stood up in the forest. It used the same technique as the Senju Hashirama it used to fight with Madara back then. It remembered that it had never fought Hashirama with Madara. He was also caught and sealed. Senju Hashirama. Kurama gritted his teeth and growled. It's not Hashirama, it's me. The familiar voice made Kurama pause. It looked carefully, and sure enough, the person standing on the wooden golem was that nasty kid. Imp. Kurama, come on, here I don't have to worry about lack of chakra, I can completely crush you. Naruto stood on top of the wooden golem with arms folded, looking at Kurama arrogantly. It could have directly tied Kakashi up like Itachi used Tsukuyomi to Kakashi, and then tortured him one after another. But Naruto wanted to have fun and convince Kurama, so he directly reproduced the scene of the first battle in the ninja world. Yeah, Kurama, let's go. Another Naruto's voice sounded over Kurama's head. Kurama. It wanted to shake its head and throw the guy above it off, but what the hell, it found that it couldn't move. Voizwang Suzano. A purple Susa covered Kurama's body, enveloping its expressionless face. It understood that this fool just went to play with himself, without considering its mood at all. Don't you know this is my nightmare? Don't you know that's the scene I hate the most? Grass. Voizwang Suzano. The same fuchsia Sasuke was set on wooden golem, shining brightly. Good guy. Kurama calls it a good guy. If you and yourself can still have such fun, just treat it as an audience, right? Just like that, Kurama lost control of his body and was forced to rush towards the opponent's wooden golem. After a while, Naruto released the illusion, and Kurama woke up. How about it, Kurama, can you trust me for a while? Naruto raised his fist and motioned to Kurama. In the illusion just now, Naruto happily enjoyed the combat power experience brought by the top-level experience card, beat up Kurama severely, and then released the plan of the Akatsuki organization, as well as some fragments that will appear in the future, to it looked, slightly convinced Kurama. If the future doesn't develop according to what you said, I will definitely eat you. Kurama raised his paw with an ugly face, and slightly fist-bumped Naruto. At this moment, Kurama felt Naruto's true heart, and knew that he was not lying to the beast, so he felt better. After all, it is extremely difficult for the proud-tailed beast to live in peace with humans. In particular, human beings only regard tailed beasts as dangers and weapons, and then directly seal them regardless, which leads to their natural lack of conditions for dialogue. Humans don't believe in tail beasts, and star beasts hate humans. The two sides are caught in a vicious circle, and only Cloud Shinobi, through real falls, can give Killer Bee, the wooden golem, complete control over the tailed beast. Don't worry, Kurama, if what I say is false, I will put me in your mouth myself. Naruto said with a smile, and at the same time sighed. Finally, Kurama mode can be used. Golden flames burst out of Naruto's body, and he happily used his new skin. The next day, Obito showed up. I'm leaving, the next task, you follow Conan's arrangement. Okay, but what's wrong with you? The voice is so weak, why did you go last night? Naruto looked at Obito with a smile in his heart. It seemed that the tailed beast bomb last night caused him a lot of trouble. I'm fine. Obito's tone was stiff and his eyes were cold. Although he has white Zetsu cultivated by Hashirama cells on his body, the recovery speed is not so fast that he can completely recover overnight. And because he couldn't go to Kakashi, he could only suffer this dull loss. For this reason, Obito made a strong mark on Kakashi in his heart, but he didn't know that the culprit was right in front of his eyes. You won't have a problem with Konoha's shadow clone. If you are exposed, then you can only show up with a mask in the future. Obito doesn't care if Naruto will be found out if he leaves Konoha. After all, only Obito, Izumi, Ju, Nagato and Xiaonan know his true identity at this time. So as long as they don't leak it out, no one will find out that Naruto has joined the Akatsuki organization. Don't worry, I'm ready. Naruto expressed his peace of mind. Even if his shadow clone suddenly exploded, he would be able to create another clone immediately after getting the news, or the main body would go directly through any door and return to his home in Konoha. In addition to any door, Naruto can also use Kamui, just like Obito, to directly target Konoha. Well, I'm leaving, don't mess around. Obito took a deep look at Naruto, and warned him to keep his mouth shut and not to fool the Akatsuki organization. Obito's body turned into a vortex and left the place. At this time Conan and Itachi came over, and they were going to start their first mission after joining the Akatsuki organization, to gather members. Konoha. The villagers who got up early in the morning and were about to start a new day got a big news. Uchiha Itachi rebelled. As the son of the patriarch, he slaughtered his own Uchiha clan. The rebellious village fled, leaving only 6-year-old Uchiha Sasuke alive. I'm going. Is it real or not? I'm not still dreaming, am I? Really, when I got the news, I went to the outside of the Uchiha tribe to take a look. You didn't see those Anbu who went in to carry the corpses. They went in batch after batch, and it took a long time to finish the work. Exactly. In addition to Uchiha from the guards, I also saw children who were only a few years old. Uchiha Itachi is really cruel. How could he do it? Sure enough, everyone with the surname Uchiha is crazy. Now it's alright, let's be my own. Hey, this is too tragic. I didn't expect this kind of thing to happen to our Konoha. In other words, the ninja clan that was exterminated last time seems to be Senju, cough cough. Shut up, you. Dare to say anything. No matter what, Uchiha Itachi is Konoha's sinner. Although I also see Uchiha as very upset, but I didn't think about killing them all. I can only say, Uchiha Itachi cow. Hokage building. At this time Danzo, Udatane Kaharu, and Mitokado Homura are still together. How's the situation? Sarutobi Hiruzen asked, smoking a cigarette. Udatane Kaharu showed a happy expression. It's okay, now everyone has decided that Uchiha Itachi is a traitor, a ruthless and dangerous element. The Uchiha clan is finally finished. Not only Udatain Kaharu was happy, Mitokado Homura also had a smile on his face, and Sarutobi Hiruzen even got rid of a heart disease. His position of Hokage was stabilized, and Konoha was safe. All the troubles brought by the Uchiha clan are now gone with Itachi's defection, it disappeared. Although the disappearance of the Uchiha clan seems to have greatly damaged Konoha's strength, but without sacrificing a single soldier, it has made Konoha's strength more stable. In this way, even if other ninja villages know the news, they will not dare to act rashly. Although some temptations and frictions will inevitably increase, Sarutobi Hiruzen is confident that he can hold on. Of the four, 3 are content. Only Danzo, since the end of the incident last night, his face has turned black. The proposal to let Itachi do it was his proposal, and it was also his objection the most. I wanted to see Itachi's jokes, but I didn't want Itachi to look young and harmless, but he was actually a cruel guy like Danzo. This thing was stunned by him. Even if it's done, Danzo still has a backup. I wanted to reap the benefits of the fisherman and get some benefits, but the root texts I sent were cut down a lot. He hates it. Especially when I saw the smile on Sarutobi Hiruzen's old face, I hated it even more. This fool, it's all right again. Danzo, do you have anything to say? Sarutobi Hiruzen was slightly puzzled when he saw his old friend was silent. This is not his style, shouldn't he be very happy at this time? No matter how bad it is, isn't it time to propose to pull Sasuke into the root? Why so quiet? I was fired, what do you want me to say? Also, don't call me for anything in the future. Danzo glanced sideways at Sarutobi Hiruzen, got up silently and left. Also, the matter of Uchiha has nothing to do with me. When Itachi was asked to do it, I opposed it. Don't blame me. Danzo said that he was abandoned by you, so don't bother me, and don't let him take the blame for Sarutobi Hiruzen. If Sarutobi Hiruzen dares to take the blame, he dares to publicize the matter. Boom. The door was slammed shut. Sarutobi Hiruzen people are stupid. What do you mean by this? This is to distinguish the relationship with him and completely break up. Isn't it because you are worried that your reputation will drag me down, so you will be dismissed? Besides, he didn't touch anything at the root. Assistant Hokage is just a job title. I asked you to come over during the meeting. Doesn't it mean that you can continue to exercise the right of assistant? What are you doing here? Sarutobi Hiruzen was a little angry and regretful. As expected of his old friend, he really wanted to push this matter to Danzo, but now he is unwilling, so. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at the other two. What are you doing? You are Hokage, you gave the order, it has nothing to do with me. I'm leaving. Seeing Danzo leaving directly, Udatain Kaharu got up immediately when he saw Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes. She won't take this blame. Besides, it has nothing to do with her. The solution was proposed by Danzo, the task was given by Sarutobi Hiruzen, and she just raised her hand. Sarutobi Hiruzen, you old fools, what measures and policies do I usually propose, and you just push me and talk endlessly, dividing my rights as a Hokage. Now it's all right, if you have something to do, you don't touch yourself, you run faster than anyone else. What's the use of you? Are you angry with me? Water. Hiruzen, I still have things to do, so I'm leaving first. How can Mitokado Homura dare to stay for a long time? He is not Danzo, he can carry any blame, and he cannot change his face. You, Master Hokage, want face and reputation. As a Hokage consultant, I also want it. Sorry, you can handle this matter yourself. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at Mitokado Homura's back blankly. I can't go on like this. When my grandson becomes Hokage, I will definitely take you all away. Keep wasting food, wasting money, only know to add to the trouble. The ability to solve the problem is not at all, it is waste. The situation in Konoha has nothing to do with Naruto. As for Sasuke, although the night of genocide was moved a year earlier and seamlessly connected with Shisui's death, didn't it also make Sasuke open Sharingan earlier and become an Avenger? The hatred for Itachi will make Sasuke work harder, I believe his strength will grow faster. Miss Conan, where are we going? A group of 4 people leapt through the forest and headed for a certain destination. Naruto has followed Conan since he set off, caring and asking questions from time to time. He looks like a little fan and has a good relationship with Conan. Kwon and Itachi followed behind, silent. Izumi looked at Naruto and felt a little jealous. Although Naruto and Izumi explained Conan's position in the Akatsuki organization last night, and that he approached Conan to obtain information and had no other ideas, Izumi was still unhappy. 617. If Naruto is really a brat who doesn't understand anything, she would be relieved, but Naruto is not. As for Itachi, his mind was thinking about Sasuke. He was a little worried about whether Sasuke could hold on to his Tsukuyomi illusion. If he held on, and got his wish to hate him, then Itachi would be relieved. If he didn't make it through, but became depressed and lost to everyone, then Itachi would only feel a pity, and hope that Sasuke would grow up healthy, and had nothing else to ask for. Itachi slightly turned his head to look at Kwon, and couldn't help but sigh in his heart. This extremely stubborn girl who used to chase after him has become a rebellious ninja just like him. For some reason, it gave Itachi a feeling of peace of mind, just like Orochimaru was very surprised when he saw Itachi. Meeting old acquaintances in a foreign land has lost a little timidity towards unfamiliar environments. Although Izumi doesn't like him anymore, it still makes Itachi feel calm, which is very strange. Don't stare at me anymore, I'm afraid Shani will misunderstand. Kwanshin felt something, turned his head and said something to Itachi, with a calm and distant expression. Sorry, I remembered something. Itachi didn't care about Kwon's words, after all, he only had a sense of intimacy for Kwon as a fellow clan and a good friend from the past. Better not think of me. Rest assured, let's go to the gold exchange in the country of fire and wait for someone, and then go to Tangyan village in the country of soup. There is a nice person there who may become one of our members. Conan talked about the goal of their trip. According to the information from Ju there is a murderer in Tangyan village, who is said to be immortal. He is a very suitable guy to join Akatsuki, especially with Kakuzu who kills his companions indiscriminately. The guys hit it off very well. After all, if you can't kill people, how can you drive them away? How can you exchange their corpses for money? Yes, Kakuzu loves money very much. Therefore, after joining Akatsuki, he became a financial steward, responsible for making money. Now Kakuzu is the most profitable person in the Akatsuki organization. Anyone who comes is not rejected, even if it is a companion found for him, as long as he fails to survive in his hands, it will become part of the money exchange. For this reason, although Kakuzu's method is very hot, his personality is indifferent, and he has no self-consciousness as a companion, but he is deeply satisfied with Conan. Every time Conan received box after box of money from Kakuzu, he was extremely happy, feeling that his detonating charm was in possession. In this way, all Kakuzu's money was handed over to Conan, and she was asked to save it, and then Conan went to buy other things until Kakuzu died, not knowing that his money had actually been spent by Conan. The gold exchange, Tangyan village, oh, it's them. As soon as Naruto heard the location, he knew who Conan was talking about. After all, every member of the Shao organization has a distinctive personality and is very recognizable. In this way, the four set off from the land of rain, enter the land of fire to find Kakuzu, and then cross the land of fire together to Tangyan village. A dense forest outside the capital of the kingdom of fire. Carrying 2 boxes in his hand, Kakuzu walked into the forest in a good mood. Come out. After a few sounds, the 4 of Conan appeared. Are there newcomers? Any companions for me? Kakuzu glanced at him and confirmed his appearance. If he is not someone he knows, then there are only 2 possibilities. One means that either they have just become rebels and the reward order has not been issued yet. The second is that the strength is too poor, and he does not have the qualifications for the reward order. If it is the second type, then Kakuzu has no interest at all, and there is no need for him to pay attention to worthless things. If it is the first type, Kakuzu said that he can accept new teammates first, and then look at the strength and bounty. Not your companion, this is Uchiha Itachi, Uchiha Izumi, my wife Zenny, a new member. We came to you because we found a good person who might be your new companion. Conan introduced and said, and Itachi and she immediately became interested in Kakuzu. What is the price of Uchiha's Sharingan on the black market? Kakuzu looked excited, put down the box full of money in his hand, took out a booklet from his pocket, and hurriedly flipped through it. This pamphlet records the reward orders issued by various ninja villages and big countries, whether it is rebellious ninja, or some noble names and officials, everything that one expects to find. After all, apart from rebellion and forbearance, between villages and between countries, there are various methods of assassinating each other, and attacking enemy forces. Here, Itachi and Quan saw the members of the organization wearing the same style of windbreaker as them, flipping through the brochure in front of them, and their faces turned black. What does this take them for? A cash machine. Is this the current situation of the Akatsuki organization? This is too insecure. Looking at him like that, it seems that he is really going to do something, probably not. After all, isn't Konan here? Itachi and Izumi are not sure either. Shani, he didn't really do it in front of Konan, did he? Quan asked softly. Itachi's ears moved. In his opinion, this guy named my wife Shani should know a lot of things. Won't. That's good. We'll wait for Konan to leave, and then do it behind the scenes. Izumi was stunned. Is it so dangerous? Aren't we companions? Itachi is also speechless, although he is not afraid, but how could he have such a mental illness? Konan silently supported his forehead. Don't worry, you won't be in a group with him. Kakuzu is very good at making money, even if it is a corpse, but fortunately, he will give up if he can't beat it. I love my life more than money. So Konan doesn't worry much about Itachi and Izumi's safety. How could a guy who wiped out his own family be such a simple character? And Izumi, although not as terrifying as Itachi, but with Mangekyo Sharingan, she is definitely not weak. After all, Mangekyo's pupil techniques are all kinds of strange, but powerful ones. Besides, if Izumi is really killed by Kakuzu, then she has only herself to blame. Aware of the organization, those who do not keep things in mind. Found it. Sharingan is very valuable. Kakuzu found the information he wanted, and stared at Itachi and Izumi with bright eyes. Uchiha who is alone in the field, opportunities are rare. If Kakuzu knew that the Uchiha clan was dead at this time, and there were only 3 people left, wouldn't Kakuzu be so excited that he couldn't help but do it on the spot? After all, the less Sharingan, the more valuable it is. Okay, Kakuzu, the 2 of them are members of the organization, you can't be a civilian. Although the Shao organization does not prohibit killing each other, but the strength of those people before is very weak, and if they are gone, they will be gone. But Itachi and Izumi are different. They were introduced by Madara, and their strength is completely different from those rookies. Kakuzu put away the booklet, suppressing Yuiu's desire to try. I can only look for another chance. After all, Konan is the leader, and Kakuzu can't be too presumptuous. Tell me, where are we going? Tangyan village. Okay then, let's go. Kakuzu said and lifted boxes. Are you going on the road like this? Don't you think it's troublesome? Do you want me to help you? Naruto looked at Kakuzu and asked. As a result, Kakuzu immediately looked at Naruto with murderous eyes when he heard it. I find it very convenient. By the way, don't you give all your money to Konan. If you haven't returned to the base yet, it's still mine. Kakuzu said that he likes the feeling of carrying money, which gives him a sense of satisfaction, so even if Konan is here, he must follow his own principles and not go to the base or pay money. And Konan glanced at Naruto unexpectedly. How did he know this? Okay, let's go. Konan knew Kakuzu's character, didn't say much, and left first. Several people also hurriedly followed. Tangyan village. Do you want to join the cult of the evil god? Woo woo woo. If you don't join, you will die. Woo. A man covered in blood was tied up with a rope and hung from a tree, with a cloth strip stuffed into his mouth, looking at the smiling but extremely dangerous lunatic in front of him with fear in his eyes. He was also unlucky. On the way back to the village from the outside, he met this guy who asked him if he wanted to join the religion. As a result, after I disagreed, the other party used strange methods to torture me like this. He is obviously hurting himself. Why is he hurting himself? It hurts so much. I don't agree. Then, goodbye. Hidan held an extremely sharp black stick and stabbed at his chest fiercely, with a crazy smile on his face. Laugh. The black stick pierced Hidan's heart, and the hanging man stared, his body trembled, and gradually lost consciousness. And his chest was bleeding. Another guy who doesn't want to join the church. Hidan shook his head regretfully, put the sickle on his shoulder, and left the position where the inexplicable mark was drawn on the ground. Outside Tengyun village, Conan and the others were walking slowly, not in a hurry at all. Sister Conan, do you want to go to the hot spring together later? I heard that the hot spring here is very good. No, Conan politely declines. Since knowing Naruto's identity and knowing that he is only a 6-year-old child, Conan forgave Naruto for lying to her about tears. Coupled with Naruto's tragic experience, Conan also felt empathy and became more tolerant towards Naruto. Even though Naruto chattered endlessly along the way, he was not angry. In her opinion, Naruto's broken mouth must be caused by having no friends since he was a child. Oh, what a pity. Naruto is full of regrets. Can I want to go together? Quan said suddenly. Cough, it's not impossible. As for Itachi and Kakuzu, Itachi remained silent, like a sentimental and melancholy young boy. Kakuzu silently stared at Itachi and Azumi's back, thinking about when he would have a chance to try their level. At this moment, a person suddenly jumped out of the woods on the side of the road, making them instantly alert. Do you want to join the cult of the evil god? Everyone, the band. Hidan is carrying a scythe, smiling all over his face. If you only look at Hidan's appearance, he is indeed a handsome guy with his tall figure, big white back hair, and evil sneer. But as long as you get in touch with him, you will find that Hidan is actually a mentally handicapped child, a brainless optimist, and a lunatic who believes in evil gods. Cthulhite religion. It was the first time Conan had heard the name. Yes, the cult of the evil god. This girl, do you want to join? What does that teach? What does it do? If you kill someone, you won't be questioned. Not only that, but Lord Evil God will be even happier. How about it? This teaching is not bad. Do you want to join? And you, do you want to be together? By the way, what kind of band are you? After Hidan preached his teachings, he looked at Conan and others and became puzzled. Wearing the same uniform, it should be a band, right? Hidan, who has never left Tengyun village, does not have much experience. So, are you that serial killer who seems to be immortal? Conan instantly figured out Hidan's identity. Killer, that's not the case. I'm just offering my prayers to Lord Evil God. But if you don't join, then I can send you to Lord Evil God. Hidan flicked his scythe and looked at them arrogantly. It doesn't look like impure world reincarnation. Itachi looked at Hidan and said, which of you would like to try his abilities? Conan asked. No one answered. Tisk tisk, I heard that this guy is on the arrest warrant of Tengyun village for indiscriminately killing innocent people, so he should be worth a lot of money. Naruto suddenly laughed. Let me try to see if he is really immortal. Sure enough, hearing that the other party was worth a lot of money, he established his interest in melee. After seeing Kakuzu make a move, everyone watched the show. Shanyi, how do you know that the other party is on the wanted warrant? Quan asked curiously, as if it was their first time here, right? Itachi couldn't help but glance at Naruto, wondering where his information came from. And Conan thought carefully about the information he gave, and it seems that he didn't say that Hidan was offered a reward. Did I remember wrongly? I do not know. Then you. I just want Kakuzu to test the waters. Ferret, Conan, Izumi. Sure enough, this is Naruto. The most deceiving person. Itachi also remembered Naruto's experience of disguising himself as Anbu and using the special nature of the ninjutsu of Flying Thunder God to cause trouble in Konoha. Conan held his forehead silently. She forgot about this kid's mouth, he is the best at fooling people. Kakuzu won't be tricked, probably not. After all, Kakuzu is also considered an alternative immortal body, with 4 more lives than others. Let the ceremony begin. In everyone's shocked eyes, Hidan, whose heart had been pierced by Kakuzu and proved his immortality, licked the blood from his fingers, and his whole body turned black, and his body was covered with white, as if the blood in Hidan's body the bones seemed to be exposed. Then, under the puzzled eyes of everyone, he took a short black stick and stabbed his heart fiercely, with an extremely crazy expression. Then Kakuzu knelt down. Conan, who saw this scene. Shit, Naruto is absolutely poisonous. What ninjutsu is this? How did he do that? Is this what the body of immortality is used for? However, when did he tag Kakuzu? Everyone was surprised by Hidan's move, especially Kakuzu himself. How can you lose one heart just by doing this? If it wasn't for my own 5 lives, I'm afraid it would have been cold if I replaced it with someone else. Laugh. Kakuzu, who was half kneeling on the ground, suddenly cracked at the back, and a white mask with black mist came out from Kakuzu's back, and then there was a click, and the mask shattered directly. Ah, what kind of ninjutsu is this? Quan covered his mouth and exclaimed softly. And Itachi's heart is heavy. Is any member of the Akatsuki organization so perverted? Isn't this dead? Is Kakuzu also immortal? And Conan is no surprise. Kakuzu, who has the grievance of the earth, can use chakra to control the black tentacles released from the body, so as to capture the hearts of others. Including your own heart, you can store up to 5 hearts in your body, and you can prolong your life by replacing your heart. Each heart can be transformed into a black body monster formed from land grievances, and the monster can use the bed of the original heart owner. In Conan's opinion, he and the immortal Hidan are a perfect combination. Now there is no need to worry about Kakuzu being able to kill his companions anymore. If you say that, isn't this person really unkillable? Quan asked curiously. That's not true, there are actually ways to deal with this kind of person. Naruto said with his arms folded. Any solution? The solution is, hey, that guy with the mask. I'm immortal, no one can kill me. When Hidan saw that Naruto said that there was a way to kill himself, he immediately became angry. Then he looked at Kakuzu excitedly. Hey, you can't die either. Join my cult. I need someone like you. Kakuzu, what the hell, you just killed yourself once, and you still have the nerve to ask me to join your religion. Very powerful technique, but don't underestimate me. Kakuzu looked angry, pulled his hands, and took off his windbreaker, revealing his upper body. Because this will not affect the use of Kakuzu. He looked at Hidan viciously, thinking in his heart that besides his own heart, there are 3 more that can be consumed, and he only needs to find the other party's ninjutsu weakness during this period. I will definitely kill you at that time. Naruto, who was watching the play, saw Kakuzu undressed, and the corners of his mouth twitched. You said, is there a possibility? Naruto's words caught the attention of the 3 of Conan. Possibly what? If we don't stop Kakuzu, we can collect his body later. Conan was silent for a while listening to this. Naruto's mouth is poisonous, that's for sure. So if he said that, there is a high probability that Kakuzu might die. Naruto's words were also heard by Kakuzu, who just wanted to sell his hands. You fool, don't be crowed. I'll be able to find out the other party's weakness in no time. Then you have to hurry up and block the other guy when he stabs your heart again, otherwise, you will die again. Naruto doesn't think it's a big deal to watch the excitement. You know the opponent's weakness? Itachi asked curiously. He just thought about it carefully, and didn't see any problems. Isn't that obvious? Hey, what's his weakness? Kakuzu yelled, and at the same time urged the ground with both hands to smash towards Hidan. Come on, Lord Cthulhu, this is my sincere prayer for you. Beautiful thinking. Boom. Hidan didn't have time to stab himself again, and swung the scythe directly, blocking Kakuzu's hand. Fire style head hard, wind style harm. At the angle of entering the ground grievance mode, the firepower was fully opened, and the ninjutsu combining fire style and wind style was used to hit Hidan directly. Ah, the pain on his body was not fake. Even if Hidan didn't die, it would still be quite uncomfortable. See it? What? You mean, why doesn't he hide? Is it because of the circle under his feet? As expected of Itachi, his brain is spinning fast. That's right, his ninjutsu, which relies on hurting his own body to attack the enemy's body, is useless if he leaves that circle. How do you know so well? Conan looked at Naruto curiously. Did Naruto know this person before? Because I'm a genius, as long as I have used any ninjutsu once in front of me, I can break it. Ah, Conan said, I believe in your evil. Itachi turned his head and glanced at Naruto. These words are so familiar. Itachi couldn't help but think of the competition between Sasuke and Naruto. At that time, just after Sasuke finished using fire style, Naruto immediately copied ninjutsu, which was more powerful than Sasuke. This also made everyone admire Naruto, shocked by his ninjutsu talent. Although I don't know if I have learned it before. But at this moment, this annoying guy can see clearly the weakness of the opponent's ninjutsu at a glance. This kind of vision can't help but surprise Itachi. Single quote. Then you said before, what is the way to deal with this kind of immortal body? It's very simple. After cutting the opponent into 8 pieces, dig a hole in a place where no one is around and bury it. Anyway, he can't grow a body by himself. Ah, seems like it's pretty easy to use. Itachi thought for a while, nodded, and felt that this method was very feasible. Also, if you are still not at ease, you can bury his body in different places, such as the head in the land of fire, the hands in the land of wind, the legs in the land of earth, etc., to ensure that he will die. Conan, so cruel. Izumi, kind of scary. Itachi, good idea. Hidan, hey, you fool, shut up. When I thought that I would suffer from Hidan in the branch house, I immediately became extremely scared. Relying on his immortality before, Hidan had nothing to fear. But now, he has. Itachi, go stop Kakuzu. Conan has spoken. It is a pity that a talent like Hidan, Good Wang Zhao, does not join the organization. I go. Naruto grabbed Itachi, who was about to strike, and disappeared in place at a rapid speed. The sword light accompanied by lightning formed a straight line in the air, crossing the bodies of Kakuzu and Hidan. Conan, he just passed through. Itachi, it seems to be. Conan covers his face. I told you to stop them, in a gentle way. What do you mean you move the knife directly? This. Hidan shouldn't die, but Kakuzu. Click. Kakuzu, who had already stopped, heard the sound, turned his head slightly, and saw that his heart was broken again. Quote. What the hell are you? I'm sorry. I was too quick and accidentally cut you, but you seem to be fine, why don't you just forget about it? Naruto scratched his head, said duplicity and embarrassment. Forget it, what about me? You take my head back. Hidan touched the neck he had just connected, and followed Conan with a displeased face. If he hadn't heard that the Shao organization was an omnipotent killing group, which was very in line with his preferences, he might not have agreed to join. Of course, if he does not agree, then Hidan will most likely experience the feeling of a branch house. The next task, Itachi and Loquat Shazang are in a team. I will tell you the location of Shazang later, you go find him. Kakuzu and Hidan team up, and Hidan listens to Kakuzu's command. My wife Shani and Quan are in the same team. Quote, Conan divided the newly joined Itachi, Izumi, Naruto and Hidan, which means that they will act as mercenaries for a long time to make money for the organization. Naruto originally thought about whether to recruit Deidara to join the team, but after calculating the time, Deidara is only less than 10 years old now, which seems to be too early. And there are only a few rebellious ninjas who are famous in the ninja world. I believe that they should have inquired about the information long ago. There is another Hoshigaki Kisame who has not joined, and should still be in Mist Shinobi. After all, Shazang has not been hanged yet, and 4th Mizukage is still alive and well. This period of time seems to be the period when Obito was messing around in Mist Shinobi. Kisame hadn't rebelled yet, and Shunzo's beheading sword hadn't reached Zabuzai's hands yet. In other words, although Naruto seems to be able to do activities outside, this kind of money-making task seems to be meaningless. Had to do something else. How about a trip to Mist Shinobi? How about a chat with Obito? It happens that the land of soup is close to the sea, and the land of water is opposite. Naruto had a whim. After Conan divided the team, he planned to return to the base camp of the Land of Rain, guarding Nagato while taking charge of the overall situation. As for any news or missions to be passed on, just leave them to Ju. His intelligence network is the most powerful and comprehensive. White Zetsu's avatar not only runs fast, but also covers a wide area. And now there is no better goal that can be included in the organization. Conan is just wasting time outside. In this way, Itachi went to find Tenzang to form a team to do the task according to the information given by Conan. Although Kakuzu was very upset, especially for Naruto who cut himself for no reason and let him waste a heart for nothing, he hated him even more. But still had to obey Conan's command, and left with excited Hidan. Now, with this truly immortal guy here, Kakuzu feels that the speed at which he makes money should be greatly improved. In the end, only Naruto and Izumi remained. Naruto thought about it carefully, and finally decided to go to Mist Shinobi to play. After all, the opportunity is rare. Otherwise, After he graduates, Naruto will have no time for various tasks and the Chunin exam, not to mention the ensuing Akatsuki organization and the outbreak of the Fourth World War. Miss Konan, how about discussing something with you? Naruto called Konan aside. What's the matter? Tell me. Konan is very kind to Naruto, with the attitude of looking at children. That's right, I need to leave for a while, I may not be able to complete the task. Speaking of this, Naruto paused, as if Konan didn't know his identity, and Obito didn't tell Naruto that Nagato and Konan already knew everything, so it's not easy for Naruto to make excuses. You can't say he's going back to class, can you? Isn't this funny? You want to leave. It's a temporary departure. I will come back. Naruto said, remember to call him when doing things, and don't ask him for other mercenary tasks. Don't bother me if you're studying at a ninja school. I see, you can leave the team temporarily. Konan knew that Naruto was only 6 years old, and that his identity was Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. Madara told her that Naruto didn't want to reveal the news that he had left the village yet, so he left a shadow clone in Konoha and couldn't stay outside all the time. Konan expressed his understanding. So she agreed to Naruto's application to leave the team. Now no matter what purpose Naruto joins the Akatsuki organization, it is still necessary to establish a good relationship and trust. At that time, even if the two sides are in conflict, the Akatsuki organization will be able to attack Naruto in advance and capture Nine-Tails. This is much less difficult than going to Konoha to catch Nine-Tails. Agreed. Naruto was amazed. Is Konan so easy to talk to? Well, as for Quan, I will find her other teammates. Ah, speaking of this, there shouldn't be any members acting alone for the time being, right? As far as he knows, the members who have joined the organization have all been assigned. There are quite a few interns. Sister Konan, can you take Quan back home with you BJAB, and let her stay by your side, so I can rest assured? Naruto was really worried about letting Izumi run around outside alone. The ninjas are full of insidiousness and cunning. A young man like Izumi who has never experienced beatings in the ninja world can easily become a victim. Before who called Quan, he was just a fool who could practice desperately. Do you care about her so much? Konan really wants to ask, you are not from Uchiha, why do you care so much about Uchiha? After all, Quan was brought out by me, and I have to be responsible for her. Naruto sighed. Isn't Izumi brought here by Madara? Could it be because of Naruto? Miss Konan, forgive me, anyway, I don't have any good teammates now, so let Quan follow you and do things for you. Oh, alright, for Naruto's sake, and because Izumi is a cute girl, there's nothing wrong with bringing her along. Konan does need help at the Rain Country base. Thank you, Miss Konan. Miss Konan, in order to thank you, I will send you a gift. As Naruto said, he took out a small porcelain bottle, which contained a Zuyin pill. Zuyin Dan. It can stay young forever and improve the appearance. It is only used for those over 20 years old. What is this? Bingliangwan. Konan opened it and looked at it, and asked suspiciously. No, this is the beauty pill. After taking it, you can look like Tsunade, one of Konoha Sanin's Tsunade princesses, and maintain your youthful appearance. It's very suitable for you, Miss Konan. Tsunade. What? Konan thought of the scene when the three of them met Jiraiya, Orochimaru, and Tsunade for the first time. At that time, they were already known as Sanin in the ninja world, and they were named by Hanzo of the Salamander of the Rain Country. In other words, although Konan has not met Tsunade again for so many years, he knows that Tsunade is so old, but he still looks the same as when he was young. Looking at Jiraiya, it is completely incomparable. As for Orochimaru, let's not talk about him. Konan dare not get too close to him, kind of disgusting. Thinking of this, Konan became excited. After all, which woman doesn't love beauty? Konan is not young anymore, and in a few years, wrinkles will appear on her face sooner or later. Even if Konan doesn't cherish or pay attention to her face, she will still feel bad of. Who said she can't do Tsunade's ninjutsu? Is what you said true? Of course, Sister Konan, if it's useless to eat, you can beat me up. You may not believe it, but at your speed, I might not be able to beat you. Okay, I'll take Quan back. Don't worry about her safety. In the land of rain, no one will hurt her. Then thank you Miss Konan. After discussing with Konan, Naruto went to Izumi to explain the next plan. Although Kwon was reluctant to let Naruto leave, he also knew about Naruto's situation. Since he had made all the arrangements, he just followed through. Lest he worry. Rain Country, Rain Shinobi Village. Still a rainy day. Many people who come here hate the humidity, the coldness, and the clothes that are always dry. But when Conan came back here, his mood immediately became calm and at ease. These rains not only nourish this injured country, but also Nagato is silently guarding and looking at it. After Conan arranged for Kwon, he went to see Nagato, not Pain, but Nagato himself. "You're back, where's Naruto?" Nagato still looks the same, his face is sunken and extremely pale, and his originally bright hair has also turned white because of overdrawing his own chakra and vitality. Conan was heartbroken, but Nagato said it was a necessary sacrifice, the price one had to pay in order to realize Yahiko's dream. Just in case, he went back to Konoha. "Well, how is that Uchiha Izumi with you?" Nagato was not surprised by the news that Naruto went back. Anyway, one more Naruto is not much, one less is not much. There might be trouble staying. Before he left, he asked me to take good care of Kwon, and now there are no other official members to form a team with her, so I agreed, and let her help me do other things by the way. It's up to you to decide, but... Nagato looked at Conan in surprise. He always feels that Conan seems to be shining today, and he is in good spirits, and looks in a good mood. It seems that it has become more beautiful. It's been a long time since I saw Nagato in this situation, and Conan has always had that expressionless look. "What's wrong? You look in a good mood, did something good happen?" "Well, Naruto gave me a Zuyin pill, saying that taking it can keep my face unchanged and keep my youth forever. I still don't quite believe it. What's the matter, has my face changed?" Conan touched her face, she didn't feel anything. But the skin seemed to have become smoother. "Well, it's okay. Is there anything else? If not, I want to rest." Nagato didn't answer, just lowered his head slightly. Conan was in a good mood and reminded him of Yahiko. Moreover, the black stick stuck in his back is causing him pain all the time, only when he uses Tiandao pain to divert his attention will he feel less obvious. But Nagato does not hate this kind of pain, but enjoys it very much, because it can constantly remind Nagato that his mission has not been completed, and it can make him deeply feel the pain caused by the war and the wrongness of this world. For this reason, he to change all this. "Then you have a good rest, remember." Conan's mood returned to heavy, and he turned to leave. "You look good today, Conan." "Thanks." The land of water, the seaside. Naruto stood on the beach, feeling the humidity brought by the air, while looking for the direction. "Strange, I always feel that this island is a bit small. Is the country of water so small? Hey, are you sure that Ayin village is here?" Kurama was lying on a patch of soft grass, laughing. Because Kurama and Naruto have reconciled, Naruto doesn't need to lock it up with the 8-sign seal anymore, so Kurama is basically free now except that he can't run out. And Naruto also changed the environment in the sealed space, turning the sewer-like space into a beautiful and endless prairie. Let Kurama feel extremely comfortable. However, her arrogant personality remained unchanged. "You mean, I haven't arrived yet? There are many small islands around the country of water, and these small islands surround Kurigakure in the middle, which not only brings great strategic significance but also provides the greatest protection. You are still on the outermost side. Sorry, it's my first time here." Naruto was slightly speechless. He had been running on the sea for a long time before, but the place where he landed was actually on the periphery. If so, let's fly over. After all, flying high and seeing far can also allow Naruto to better determine the direction. But before setting off, Naruto used the transformation technique again, turning into a new image with long blonde hair, an orange samurai suit, and no eyebrows. Yes, it's Son Goku's Super Saiyan 3 form. Anyway, coming here as a temporary tourist, Naruto can indulge his nature at will. Moreover, several of Mist Shinobi's ninjas have no eyebrows, such as Second Mizukage, Zabuzan, Kisame, Loquat Juzo, etc., so they should be able to blend in without being discovered. Then Naruto used the moon dance to volley into the sky, and after confirming the direction, his body turned into lightning and disappeared instantly. This scene made Kurama frown in the sealed space. Where did this kid learn so many ninjutsu? With the ability of lightning teleportation, when Naruto passed through the barrier and caught the attention of the Mist Shinobi ninja, Naruto had already entered Kurigakure. Kurigakure, as the name suggests, is shrouded in white mist all year round. The closer to the center of the village, the thicker the white mist becomes. Naruto has the appearance of Super Saiyan 3, Haki's fierce eyes, coupled with his strong muscles, and unrestrained blonde hair, made many people who secretly pay attention to Naruto put away their small thoughts. This appearance is not easy to mess with at first glance. It's not that Mist Shinobi's people are full of malice, but that the image of Naruto is extremely strange to them, and he looks like a newcomer at first sight. But the face without eyebrows did not arouse the suspicion of others. Who is Mist Shinobi? Most people don't have eyebrows. Obviously, Naruto has put his mind to it, and the deliberately prepared new skin has played a good role in camouflage. At least it can deter some xiao. Naruto wandered around with a serious face, holding the mentality of sightseeing. Walking around, Naruto realized that the money in his hand might not be applicable in Yuanian village. The banknote in his hand can be used in the Land of Fire, because the front and back of this banknote have the face value and the pattern of the Konoha logo on the front, and a map of the Konoha and surrounding countries is printed under the Konoha logo. On the back is the Hokage Yanyan of Konoha village. So if he used it in Kurigakure, it would be easy to reveal his identity. Naruto does not have another kind of common banknote with the character, Tong, on it, which is very troublesome. However, this is not difficult to solve. Since he first appeared here, he has sensed several kinds of malice silently watching him. Since the other party has bad intentions, Naruto doesn't mind asking them to borrow some money. By the way, after Naruto and Kurama reconciled, the skill of malicious perception can already be used. Call out. Naruto, who was originally in someone's eyes, suddenly disappeared while walking normally. Shintaro was shocked. As expected, this guy's appearance was directly proportional to his strength. Could it be some hidden master of the family? Just as Shintaro was about to leave, a hand was placed on his shoulder. Hello, I want to borrow some money from you, is that okay? Zabujan put down his mask and walked out of the Anbu building with a cold expression. His heart was heavy, and the tyranny of Fourth Mizukage was even worse. Back then, in order to change the situation in Kurigakure's blood mist, he killed all the students except him during the graduation exam, and became the only genin who graduated successfully that year, and was awarded the title of Ghost Man. His actions did change the situation of the village for a while, and later, no matter how much he did, he successfully became a member of Mist Shinobi Anbu, especially good at assassination, and he is an excellent master of silent assassination. And at that time, Zabuza also used the silent killing technique to kill a Konoha special jonin Nishichi Kumana who was on a spy mission in Kurigakure. But the good times didn't last long. Fourth Mizukage revived with even more brutal methods. Closed the country, let the big blood successors in the village kill each other, and finally killed all the ninjas, and the children with the blood successors were also regarded as unknown existences. Just like Bai. Bai was born in a small village in the 790, where it always snows in the Land of Water. People in the village were afraid of the war and hated blood succession. And Bai's mother owns the blood successor boundary Ice Dun, and has kept this secret for a long time. Sao's family lived a peaceful life until Bai Yi was found to have inherited this ability. Bai's father discovered the secret and led a team of villagers to kill Bai's mother first. When he was about to kill Bai, the terrified Bai used Shueiji boundary and killed everyone present with the ice pick. In this way, Bai became an orphan, begging in the streets and alleys of the country of water, and had self-doubt about his own existence, and also believed that the ability he inherited was a curse and the culprit who killed the whole family. It wasn't until I met Zabuza that I had a reason to live. For this reason, many people in Kurigakure are increasingly opposed to Mizukage's tyranny, full of complaints. The representative figures are Loquat Shizang and Black Hole Ya who survived from Might Die back then. And now he can't stand it anymore. He thinks if he continues like this, Kurigakure will be killed sooner or later. He gradually had a plan in his heart, an extremely dangerous plan. Succeeded, Kurigakure changed from then on. If you fail, you will either die or defect, accumulate strength, and then make a comeback. Although Zai Bu Zan is full of ambition and iron blood, he is not a heartless person. As a member of the village, he he also hopes that the village will get better and better. Zaibuzhen walked towards home silently. When he passed the entrance of a small alley, he glanced around and found a person lying on the ground lifeless. He didn't want to be bothered. After all, this kind of situation is already the norm in Kurigakure. But just as he was about to leave, he saw the face of that person, someone he knew. Anbu's colleague, Shintaro, has special strength Jonin. He sighed, and since the other party also hated Mizukage, he walked over. After checking it, I found that the other party was just knocked out, which is fine. Shintaro, wake up. Zaibuzhen patted Shintaro's face a few times to wake him up. Ah, it hurts. Shintaro felt as if his neck was about to break, and opened his eyes in a daze. Don't kill me again. Why are you here? What's wrong? You don't know what happened to you. Was attacked. Sneak attack. Ah, my money. Shintaro recovered his memory, and touched his chest in an instant. It was already empty there. You were robbed. Would be very disappointed. A special Jonin from Anbu, who was knocked out and robbed, what a shame. No, that guy is different. If you don't cut it, really, the opponent's speed is very fast. I didn't even realize that the opponent was behind me, I only knew when the opponent spoke. Shintaro's face turned pale, showing fear, and he explained very seriously. Fortunately, the other party was asking for money. If the other party wanted to kill him, Shintaro felt that he might not even know how he died. Very powerful guy. It's very powerful. No more silence. Although Shintaro is a rookie in his eyes, but he is still a Jonin, he can get behind him without him noticing, and let him be knocked out without resistance. The strength must be elite Jonin's level. But elite Jonin is either in Anbu or Yuenshi, basically they know each other no matter how hard they are. Have you ever seen anyone who would rob on the street? Which Jonin would be short of money and do such a worthless thing? The opponent used ninjutsu. Mist shinobi is the best technique for silent assassination, and it is also the famous ninjutsu of Zaibuzhen. So he wondered if the other party used this technique, and Shintaro didn't notice it. No, he just used the body flicker technique. What about others? Do you know them? No longer asked seriously. A master suddenly appeared in the village, which is not good news. I don't know him, it's the first time I've seen him. Not from the village. Ah, it should be. After all, his appearance is quite in line with the image of the village, and he has no eyebrows like you. Zaibuzhen's face was dark, and he looked at Shintaro with dangerous eyes. What do you mean? Make fun of me. Also, what kind of mist shinobi is a sign of no eyebrows? Who said that? Cough. I'm sorry. I mean, the other party is quite recognizable, with blonde hair, muscular body, and wearing a samurai uniform. I guess that the other party may be a survivor of a certain family. As for which one, I will decide. Not sure. Although Shintaro's strength is mediocre, he is good at intelligence gathering. The meaning of the family in his mouth, even if he didn't cut it, he could understand it. It was those ninjas who had almost died and had blood inheritance limits. But why did such a person with the strength of elite Jonin appear only now? What is his purpose? Even penniless, living by robbing others, a victim of Mizukage. If this is the case. I see, I'm leaving first, you should be careful. Don't get up again, turn around and leave. This time instead of walking home, he wandered around. He wants to find the other party and test the other party's purpose. If the purpose is the same, maybe they can join forces. At this time, Naruto just walked out of a restaurant, picking his teeth after eating and drinking. To be honest, the seafood here at Mist Shinobi is really good, such as lobsters, which are very big. It is the way of eating here that makes Naruto a little unacceptable. They like to eat sashimi. Fortunately, not all food is eaten raw, otherwise Naruto would have planned to go home. Naruto continued to watch the scenery of Mist Shinobi and experience different customs, but at this moment, he heard scolding. Get out, you little fool. Scold me. Court death. Naruto turned his head in an instant, and his hockey-filled face and eyes immediately locked on a fat middle-aged uncle. Sorry, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about those little beggars who come here to beg every day and affect my business. Jane has been annoying to death. When the boss saw Naruto, who was brought over because of his words, he immediately apologized, for fear that this fierce guy would misunderstand him and scold him. Fortunately, Naruto didn't care. He turned his head and looked at the so-called little beggar, who ran away. I saw a child who was only 8 or 9 years old, wearing tattered and dirty clothes, leaving in the West. Naruto clicked his lips. This is the danger of this world. Especially people living in Kurigakure, even in the peaceful era after the war, are still in dire straits. This situation did not gradually ease until the end of the Fourth World War, when Terumi issued a series of policies as Mizukage, and lived a good life. At this time, he saw the child and looked back, as if he was afraid of being chased by someone. This glance made Naruto pause. This face is so familiar. White. Naruto looked at Shiro's back unexpectedly, and then silently followed. Now that he saw it, Naruto felt that he couldn't let it go. It's not like you can see such a very special tool person who can use his life to repay the kindness of saving his life as long as he helps out. A more classic example, Shiro is one, Renmaru with red eyes is followed by Black Horaiga, and then there is Kimimaro, one of Orochimaru's Otonin 5. Speaking of which, Xianglin is also considered one, because Sasuke saved her, and since then she remembered Sasuke, and would rather give her life for it. What they have in common is that they are loyal because of the help of others. If you think about it this way, you might as well go and pull Xianglin over. Wait, Orochimaru hasn't left Akatsuki at this time, so is Kimimaro still in Mist Shinobi? Naruto thinks that if he intercepts Orochimaru, he will immediately get a companion who is extremely loyal to him. It's easy to come. In this case, first recruit Bai into the group, and then go to Kimimaro. Bai ran desperately, trying to get rid of the scary-looking guy behind him. He never thought that when he was only 19, he went to the street to look for food as usual, and he was scolded by someone, but he attracted a very dangerous guy. He was targeted, and he was targeted without revealing his strength. He quickened his pace, away from the busy street, and ran to a place with fewer people. If the other party does not give up all the time, doing it in a place where no one is there can better hide the truth that he has the blood succession limit. Naruto followed Shiro slowly, seeing the direction where Bai was escaping. The less people there were, the more satisfied he became. Finally, Bai, who had been hungry for a long time, lost all his energy, so he stopped and looked back, feeling a chill in his heart. That person is still there. Shall we chat? Bai didn't answer, but looked at Naruto with stubborn eyes, raised his hands, and made a gesture of nodding. Do you want to do it? It's better not to. You can't beat me. Ice escape ice cone. At this time, Bai is still too young, and his skills and combat ability are pitifully low without the training of Zaibu Zan. Even if it is Bingdun who can kill the entire village, there is basically no threat to Naruto. Especially Bai's body at this time, under the condition of malnutrition, is on the verge of collapsing after using the ice escape, and he is about to faint. Naruto appeared behind Shiro, and pressed his shoulder. I didn't intend to kill you, don't get excited. Why? Bai asked in a low voice. Naruto let go of his hand, reassuring Bai. Your ability is very good, I need it very much, do you want to be my subordinate? Naruto is still in Mist Shinobi now, just in case, he didn't cancel his transformation technique. He originally wanted to say that he would become my companion, but after thinking about it, forget it. Not least, he finds himself being followed. Minions. Bai raised his head in surprise. He didn't expect that when he exposed his ability, the other party not only didn't show hatred and wanted to kill him immediately, but instead invited him to join and let him become the other party's subordinate. That's right, your ice escape blood inheritance boundary is very powerful, it's a pity to waste it like this. Aren't you not afraid? This cursed blood, this is not the blood of the curse. Of course, if it is here, in Kurigakure, it is considered, but outside, it is not, on the contrary, it is a kind of talent. Outside, yes, if you are willing to be my subordinate, I will take you away. Naruto's words made Bai Shin longing. If I refuse, then are you going to kill me? Shiro lowered his head, not daring to look directly into Naruto's eyes. No, I will take you away by force. So, do you want to be needed by someone? Can you give everything you have for me? I am willing. As long as you need me, even if you use me as a tool, I am willing. Please take me away. Bai raised his head, and agreed with incomparable certainty and resolutely. Don't worry, even if you don't say so, I will do it. Successful anti-routine, get Logia devil fruit frozen fruit edible. Sure enough, changing the fate of some people can also be rewarded, and the value of the reward is still very high. Then, what should I call you? My name is Bai. Ah. You can call me Mr. Sun first. Okay, Mr. Sun. Ri didn't say, call Mr. Sun first, but obediently agreed. As a tool, you must have the awareness of the tool. Then Mr. Sun, shall we leave now? No, don't be in a hurry, let's deal with the mice first. Naruto looked at the fog that suddenly became thick around him, and said calmly. Mr. Sun, this is the mist shinobi technique. In these days of wandering in Bai, he has seen this distinctive ninjutsu more than once. Bai looked around vigilantly, and his hands were ready to make a seal again, even though his body was about to be unable to hold on. Don't worry, I'll go. Naruto held Shiro back and comforted him. Bai nodded obediently. Mr. Sun has such a hockey face, he must be very strong. Naruto has long sensed the existence of malice, but he didn't take action to solve it just because he had to deal with Shiro's affairs. Unexpectedly, the opponent made the first move instead. Mist Shinobi, you should use the silent assassination technique, people from Anbu. The fog has completely filled Naruto, making it impossible for Naruto to see clearly even a distance of 1 meter in front of him. But it doesn't matter, he has already locked the opponent's position. Just when Naruto was about to make a quick decision, the other party spoke. The descendants of the Snow Clan haven't all died yet. If he didn't cut it again, Bai's body would tremble, and the fear brought about by Shuiji's boundary once again occupied Bai's heart. Are you also from this family? What does it have to do with you? If so, then please die. Zai Bi Yuzan wanted to test the opponent's strength, but he didn't expect to find a child who could ice escape. However, the identity of this child has been confirmed, and the guy with a hockey face has not yet confirmed whether he is the 50 pairs of Aikichu of the Yuki clan who happened to discover this child. Throat, spine, lungs. The voice of Zabuzan was ethereal in the mist, coming from all directions. This silenced Naruto, who heard it. This familiar sentence is actually never cut again. He didn't expect that he would run into Zabuzan ahead of time. But it's normal, Bai has met, so what's so strange if we meet again and don't kill him again? In this case, let him be solved. Naruto thought, his body flashed and disappeared directly. What do you want me to attack first? Zabuzan was still reciting his lines heavily, as if full of faith. Then, the moment Naruto disappeared, the fluctuations in the air made him have no time to think, and formed a seal suddenly. Body flicker technique. Mist flicker. Mist Shinobi is a technique that allows Zabuzan to move quickly in the Mist Shinobi technique. Sure enough, in the next second, a thunderbolt flashed across. No matter how fast he reacted, he was still hit by Naruto's attack. The lightning flashed and he didn't slash, making half of his body seem to lose consciousness. That is to say, Naruto didn't use a knife, otherwise he would pass by at a high speed, and he would be finished without cutting. After Zabuzan dodged Naruto's attack, he shouted hastily. Wait, let's talk, I need you. At the same time, I couldn't help scolding Shintaro in my heart. Is this what you call very fast? This is really teleportation. Chicken. Chapter 91. Look for me. What's the matter? Naruto stopped curiously, not knowing what he was going to do at this time. Before that, I want to ask if you are from Kurigakure. Zaibuzan stood up, and covered his right hand with his left hand to relieve the numbness. So what? Then you should know about Kurigakure's past few years. I know, what exactly are you trying to say? What I said is very important, so I want to confirm your identity. Which family do you belong to? No longer staring at Naruto. If the other party is not a blood successor family, then there is nothing to talk about. Even if he is a member of Mist Shinobi, he cannot be trusted casually. In this day and age, the trust between ninjas is not as thick as a piece of paper. My identity. Naruto looked at No More Cut, and vaguely guessed the opponent's plan in his heart. After all, Zabuchi defected to Mist Shinobi because he failed to assassinate Mizukage. So, is this looking for an ally? Otherwise, Byuzan wouldn't take the risk to find a stranger like him. It's just that this identity is not easy for Naruto to fabricate. As long as the blood successor family uses ninjutsu, it can be judged immediately. But Naruto's blood succession boundary, Sharingan, and wood style, can't be used directly. In terms of ninjutsu, water style can only do a burst of water, and there is fire style, a few earth style ninjutsu, but lightning style can be used casually. Looking at it this way, it seems that there is no mist shinobi, let alone pretending to be a blood successor. It's not convenient to say, is it still the same as this child? The Snow Clan. Seeing that Naruto remained silent, he thought that the other party had scruples. White, that's right, I just got a frozen fruit, which can be disguised as an ice escape. While thinking, Naruto took out the ice escape fruit and silently took a bite. Fortunately, the rewards obtained by the system allow him to use several Devil Fruit's abilities, while also eliminating weaknesses. He seems to have a gravity fruit that hasn't been used yet. Then I saw this burly, hockey-looking man, silent, and started eating a fruit he didn't know, and then vomited. Don't chop again. Sorry, the fruit I picked on the way here was too unpalatable. Naruto wiped his mouth, and threw out the fruit he took a bite out of. The fruit that has lost its power will turn into a puddle of water in a short time. By the way, what did you ask me just now? My identity. That's right, I am a member of the Snow Clan. Naruto activated the ability of frozen fruit, a blast of white ice that was frigid, quickly covered the entire ground, and scattered towards the surroundings. Not cutting back again and again, I was relieved. Ice escaped blood following the limit, this time it can be released. When Bai saw this scene, his eyes lit up, and he was extremely happy in his heart. He was a member of the same tribe as himself. Now he is even more loyal to Naruto. Now that your identity has been confirmed, let me just say it straight, I want to end in the blood mist. When Naruto heard it, it was the same in the secret passage. I can't wait to attack Mizukage if I don't kill him. It's just that, with Obito around, it's doomed. How does it end? Assassinate Mizukage. As long as fourth Mizukage is dead, then his tyranny will end. Peace will come to the village. Said sternly no longer. Are you so confident that you can succeed? Besides, fourth Mizukage is dead, who will take charge of the overall situation? I am from Anbu, and I have figured out Mizukage's work and rest rules long ago, and I know where Anbu's weaknesses are. I am confident that I can approach Mizukage without being discovered. As for the follow-up, I believe Yuanshi will stabilize the situation. During this period of time, he has not been idle, and has collected a lot of information, just to prepare for the day when he will do it. And he also knows that Master Yuan is also someone who opposes the tyranny of fourth Mizukage, but because he is a supporter of Mizukage, he has no way to stand up and resist directly. But Byuzan is different, he is just an Anbu, without the shackles of identity, and has no political bargaining chipped away. Zaran, even if he fails, will not have any major impact on the village. That being the case, let him sacrifice. That's what it says. But you're so sure I won't betray you? Naruto laughed. Aren't you a member of the Snow Clan? Because of the blood mist, the Snow Clan has almost died, and even those who can escape from ice are only left with this child and you. Don't you want to take revenge? Don't want to end this? To be reasonable, if Naruto is really a member of the Snow Clan, he really can't refute it. Therefore he was silent. Let's do it together. Also, it's not impossible, listen to your plan. Go to my house, it's not convenient here. Seeing that Naruto agreed, I felt relieved a lot. He was actually afraid that Naruto would betray him, but for the sake of the village, he chose to gamble once. By the way, my name is Zabujan, I don't know how to call you. You can call me Mr. Sun, this is Bai. Mr. Sun. The three of them arrived at Zabujan's home, and then Naruto was about to take the clothes he bought on the way back to freshen up, and turned around to chat with Zabujan about the business. The fourth Mizukage Yagura is the Three Tails Jinchuriki, able to perfectly use the power of the tailed beast. Wait, I didn't mean to look down on you, but where did you get the confidence to fight against the perfect Jinchuriki? Naruto was also shocked. If he didn't cut it, it would be so inflated, he wanted to single out Jinchuriki. Isn't there still you here? Byuzan's tone became weaker, and he said in a low voice. Naruto couldn't speak. But forget it, it is a failure anyway, it doesn't matter if you hide it. Okay, tell me about your plan. It's like this. I found that since Yagura became Mizukage, except for a big change in temperament, he just likes to be alone. Except for necessary government orders, basically except Anbu. No one can easily see him, so Lee Chinhao, so, if we make a move, we only need to face Goju Yagura. As for Anbu, I will deal with it from time to time. Those Anbu are actually innocent, but for the sake of the village, if they don't kill them, they can only sacrifice some of them. And his silent assassination technique is the most powerful in Anbu. He can solve the water guard without disturbing other people. Since you have a plan, I'll just follow you. If you need me to do something, just tell me. You're welcome. Besides, I also want to try the strength of Three Tails Jinchuriki. It may be that Naruto's appearance is full of strong temperament at first glance, so I don't doubt Naruto's strength even if I don't cut it, and as a member of Kurigakure, I know how powerful Ice Dun is even if I don't cut it. There is such an elite Jonin and if he is restrained from the side, the odds of winning if he doesn't cut it are much greater. At this time, Bai took a shower, changed his clothes and came out. This made Zabuza, who saw Bai's clean face for the first time, stunned. What? This is. Don't look, he's a boy. Bai was a little shy, rubbing the hem of his clothes, not daring to look directly at the eyes that would never be cut again. Boy, I was shocked if I didn't kill anyone, but I recovered quickly. Children are good-looking and cute, and they really can't tell the difference between male and female. But it's none of his business, he only cares about the village. The next day, they went out to carry out Anbu's mission as usual, and they agreed to do it at night. There will be fewer people at that time. Then Naruto wandered around the village again with Shiro for most of the day, until the evening, and never came back. This is Anbu's uniform, you can wear it later and go in with me, and play by ear. Okay, bye, you stay here and wait for me to pick you up. Don't worry, I will be back. Naruto told Bai before going out, telling him not to run around, and not to panic when he heard the noise, he would come to pick him up. Naruto's Flying Thunder God imprint had left quite a few since the day he came in, let alone Naruto left one on Bai's body, which was very safe. Bai nodded obediently with a sullen face. Even if he was terrified in his heart that he would become an orphan again and go out to beg again, Bai also suppressed his emotions for fear that he would affect Naruto. The only thing he can do now is to believe. At night, Kurigakure is darker than Konoha because of the dense fog. Walking on the street often only hears the sound of footsteps in the distance but not people. So few people come out to hang out at night. Except ninjas. Zabuza and Naruto headed towards the Mizukage building silently. Like Konoha, since the establishment of Konoha, other villages have followed Konoha's layout, facilities, and departments, and have followed suit. Even the ninja school has less medical experience. The difference between the Mizukage building and Konoha is that the Hokage building is made of wood, and it is painted red like fire, full of vitality. The Mizukage building, or the entire Mist Shinobi building, is mostly made of stone, mostly gray and black, and the atmosphere is cold and heavy. Especially at night, it looks more gloomy and terrifying. Zaibu Zan stood in the shadows, formed a seal silently, and activated the Mist Shinobi technique. The ninjutsu was well hidden in the dense fog. When Zabujan's ninjutsu enveloped the entire Mizukage building, Anbu on duty didn't even notice it. The silent assassination technique is activated. After a few slight noises, it didn't come back again. After the outside is resolved, you may need to take action on the inside. No problem. Bias' warehouse is on the top floor of the 5th floor. Although he stays behind closed doors for a long time, the movement of the battle will definitely arouse his vigilance. Let's make a quick decision. Don't worry, I'll be there soon. As they spoke, the two quietly opened the door and sneaked in. 5th floor. In a wide, dark and cold room. The two candles flickered slightly, and a very young child with a baby face was resting his head on his right hand, as if he had fallen asleep, sitting on the stone chair in the middle. At this time, a black shadow slowly appeared from the darkness behind the stone chair. Faye, someone broke in. As soon as the voice fell, a touch of scarlet lit up in the darkness. Did you find it? No, it shouldn't be, his purpose is to assassinate Yagura. Several people, too, then let Yagura play with them. Obito closed his eyes, and White Zetsu sank to the ground. As if the child sitting on the throne had received an order, he opened his eyes. At this time, Fourth Mizukage and Yagura are like puppets with no emotion. And the spiritual consciousness of his body has long been bound in the sealed space together with the three tails in his body by the Sharingan. Citrus Yagura watched helplessly and painfully that she was manipulated by others and did all kinds of evil things. Laugh. A handful of kunai stabbed an Anbu in the back and ended his life. Naruto has reached the 5th floor, standing in front of the last door. But at this moment, Zabuzan caught up. He looked at Naruto seriously. This guy has speed and strength, really strong. It was so strong that Zabuzan was incomparably frightened. At any rate, he relied on the silent assassination technique to reduce the movement of the battle. It turned out that Naruto was lucky, someone found out. Then before the other party had no reaction, the Japanese knife stabbed the other party to death. The method is clean and neat, and it's really fast. It's inside. That's right. Then go in. Careful. Naruto gently pushed the door open. The room was quiet and dark. Zabuzan came in vigilantly with a knife in hand, and then found that his target, Fourth Mizukage Yagura, was sitting on a stone chair, with his eyes open, looking at him coldly. Already spotted. Just, why not get your hands on it? Naruto has also discovered that Yagura has discovered them. So, is Obito watching from behind right now? If you don't kill me again, are you going to rebel? Yagura didn't get up, nor was he emotional. Yagura, what has become of Mist Shinobi because of you? Don't you know? What does that have to do with me? You are Mizukage. Yeah, I'm Mizukage. You, don't chop anymore. Yeah, he is Mizukage, the most powerful person in Kurigakure. But Mizukage can do whatever he wants. Anyway, Goju Yagura, I will kill you, end your tyranny, and restore the village to normal. It's useless to talk too much, it's more in line with Zabuzan's character to do it directly. Mist Shinobi Art. Water Style Water Mirror Technique. As soon as Byuzan made a move, Goju Yagura immediately stood up, brandished his weapon, and activated the Water Mirror Technique. Immediately, two people who were the same as Zabuzan and Naruto came out of the mirror. Not good. Be careful, their strength is the same as ours. Zabuzan was worried that Naruto didn't understand Yagura's ninjutsu, so he hurriedly reminded him. In the next second, the cloned Zabuzan and Naruto rushed over. Don't cut it and deal with it quickly. And Naruto is very curious, what abilities can this water mirror technique replicate? Water Style Explosive Water Shockwave. Let's try ninjutsu first. Water Style Explosive Water Shockwave. Two majestic water waves collided with each other, flooding the entire room in an instant, causing the rest of the people to jump up and land on the water. Seeing this, Naruto squatted down and put his hands in the water. The copy on the opposite side has a copy. Ice Escape Ice Age. Ice Escape Ice Age. The white ice instantly froze the seawater that covered the room, and spread towards the walls, windows, and corridors. And that copy was also directly frozen. He did not copy the so-called ninjutsu of Naruto. Citrus Yagura. Copy failed. Citrus Yagura doesn't understand, and he won't understand if he doesn't chop it up, and Obito doesn't understand it even more. As long as it is a ninjutsu, it can be copied exactly the same through the water mirror technique, even if it is the blood succession limit. Unless the opponent is not using ninjutsu. But isn't Ice Escape the limit of blood succession? Isn't it powered by chakra? Here, he couldn't wait for Byuzan to come up with the answer. His figure disappeared in the thick mist, ready to launch an assassination technique to get rid of his duplicate. Yagura saw that his ninjutsu did not have any effect, so he quickly launched a second ninjutsu. Wind Style After the Typhoon. Call. A strong wind swept across, blowing away the fog. This trick is the nemesis of Kurigakure's proud assassination technique, Mist Shinobi technique, especially restraining and not cutting. Clang. The two kunai collided with sparks, and Zabuzan was discovered. Without the cover of the mist, the assassination technique of Zabuzai was greatly reduced. His heart also became anxious. Boom. A powerful chakra erupted from Yagura's body in the distance, and his body changed obviously. Although he still maintained his human form, his body began to be covered with a layer of dark red-tailed animal chakra coat. He didn't care whether to cut it or not, and rushed towards Naruto directly. Ice Wall. Several thick ice walls protruded directly from the ice, blocking the way of the medical warehouse. Unfortunately, Yagura, who had already transformed into a half-tailed beast at this time, had increased several times in both speed and strength. He rushed straight to smash the ice and came to Naruto in an instant. A slap was patted on his body. Coral Palm. This is a move used by Yagura in the state of tailed beast. Coral will grow on the body parts hit by his own palm. This technique is extremely destructive to taijutsu ninjas. In an instant, a piece of white coral rapidly grew and expanded where Naruto was hit. Mr. Sun. Seeing that Naruto is about to die after being hit, his potential has also exploded. Water-style Great Waterfall Technique. Mist Shinobi Technique. No longer do not chop back again and again, use ninjutsu, the replica is also a sample. Then plunged into the water without cutting. Then it emerged from the water under the replica's feet and punched it away. But he was still dodged, and was stabbed in the heart by the other party Raikunai. Water Prison. The body of the stabbed Zabujan turned into flowing water, covering the replica. Finally got you. No longer use the water body and water prison technique to trap the replica, and directly beat the opponent into a puddle of water. He hurriedly looked towards Yagura, only to find a transparent ice sculpture standing there. It looks like Yagura with tailed beast. This is... What, are you worried that I'm dead? Naruto's voice came from the side. Without beheading and turning his head to look, he saw a streak of white ice, condensed into a human shape, and turned into Naruto's appearance. Mr. Sun, you are all right. That's great. Before you. Didn't Zan want to say that he was hit just now? But looking at the position just now, where there is Naruto's body, what is there is just a pile of broken ice. Just after Naruto turned into an element, he left an ice sculpture of himself, and when he got behind Yagura, he also pressed his palm on Yagura's back, freezing him. Mr. Sun, don't miss this opportunity. No matter how excited he was, luckily he had an impromptu idea and brought a powerful companion over, otherwise he might not even be able to get close to Yagura by himself. Right now Yagura is frozen and ready for a one-hit kill. Complete his assassination mission. Do not impulse. Bu Zan was pulled back. Before he could doubt, another violent chakra violently rioted. The dark red chakra became more intense, breaking through the shackles of ice. The parts of Yagura who had just been frostbitten quickly recovered under the cover of the tail beast chakra. Sure enough, Jinchuriki are hard to deal with. Zabuzan's face was dark, and he felt a little powerless. After all, he is just an ordinary ninja, and he cannot defeat the tailed beast, especially when fighting alone. He's not Senju Hashirama and Uchiha Madara, nor is he third Raikage, who can single out 8 tails. Not to say that there is no powerful ninjutsu, let alone a tyrannical physique. Therefore, as long as he is not stupid, he will not take kunai to fight against Yagura, who has entered the tailed beast. Is it over? Hard to say. Naruto clapped his hands and activated the fruit ability again. Ice Escape Ice Dragon. After a few bang bangs, 3 white ice dragons emerged from the ice under their feet and rushed towards Yagura, as if they were going to wrap each other up. However, with a flick of the 3 dark red tails, the water dragon was crushed. Naruto sighed. In the case of only using the freezing ability, he can't do anything against Yagura. If you use Thunder Fruit's ability, you might be able to do electrotherapy for the other party. Combining the speed, wood style, and Mangekyo, it shouldn't be a problem to hit the main tail. Then, after the ice dragon shattered, Yagura froze and opened his mouth. What is he going to do? It's a little doubtful if I don't cut it again. Haven't you seen the tailed beast bomb? Tailed beast bomb. Don't be shocked anymore. Although it is true that he has not seen it with his own eyes, but he has heard of it. Go. Bu Zan wanted to get out of here quickly, but it seemed that he couldn't hide. After all, once the tailed beast bomb exploded, the damage range would be very large. Naruto put his hand on Zabujan's shoulder, ready to activate Flying Thunder God, and take him away, when suddenly he had a flash of inspiration. I don't know if the silence skill is useful for tailed beasts. Saying that, Naruto silently activated silence towards Yagura. Silence. Interrupt the opponent's ninjutsu, unable to use chakra, for 1.5 seconds. After activating the skill, Naruto saw the 3 tails with its mouth open, the black-tailed beast bomb that continuously condensed chakra, and became unstable after losing the control of chakra and three tails. No way. Boom. There was a loud noise, fierce flames continued to rage, and the wind howled. The moment before Naruto left, he saw the half-tailed Yagura with his mouth open, and was blown away by the explosion. Ah, hope he's okay. This seems to be the first Jinchuriki to be blown away by his tailed beast bomb, right? Well, 10 tails doesn't count. With the sound of the explosion, the 5th floor of the entire Mizukage building was lifted off the roof, and even the walls of the 4th floor collapsed. And Yagura was also blown away, fell in the distance, and lost consciousness. Although he just turned into a half-tailed beast, and his defensive power is amazing, but the tailed beast bomb exploded against his head just now, and he didn't die. Fortunately, he is a Jinchuriki. If it were an ordinary person, there would be no bones left. And someone who saw this scene from behind, the corners of his mouth kept twitching. What the hell? In front, I was blown up by tailed beast bomb. Now it's the people under his control who get blown up by the tailed beast bomb. Kakashi. The loud noise finally attracted the attention of others, and the villagers turned on the lights one after another, and went out of the house to check the movement. Especially the villagers whose house was smashed by Yagura who fell from the sky, looked at Mizukage who passed out in a daze. The location of Yuanshi. Master Yuan. What happened? Has someone invaded the village? Master Yuan's face was heavy. The village was not invaded. That is, someone has invaded the Mizukage building. He even fought with Mizukage-sama. The noise just now came from the tail booster. Where's Terumi-mei? I have brought people to check the situation. Report any news in time. Master Yuan is very old and can't travel freely, especially now that the situation outside is unknown, and he doesn't know who invaded. For safety, it's best to stay at home. Yes, Mizukage, 473, adults. Terumi-mei came quickly with a team of ninjas. When she saw the Mizukage building that had been mostly destroyed, she felt nervous and hoped that Mizukage would be fine. Although 4th Mizukage's policy has been criticized and caused panic in the village, he is still the head of the village after all, especially he is 3 tails Jinchuriki, so nothing can happen. Master Terumi-mei. Master Mizukage is over there. Ching and I went over. You go to the Mizukage building to see if there are any survivors. Yes. Terumi-mei is a confidant of Yuanshi's subordinates, and even a rare ninja with 2 blood succession boundaries. He has always been favored and valued by Yuanshi, and he is trained as the next Mizukage, so his status is not low. Terumi-mei rushed to the place where Yagura was unconscious with Ching, and checked it, but fortunately, her life was not in danger. Who the hell did it? You can't even match Mizukage-sama. Terumi-mei was extremely angry. Suddenly, she stopped, and turned her head to look at the silent, pensive Ching in doubt. Usually when she is very angry, Ching will comfort her and persuade her to come and see what happened today. So quiet. Green, something's not right. I'm not sure. When he checked Yagura just now, Ching worried that Yagura was seriously injured, so he opened his eyes, and then he noticed something wrong with Mizukage. Besides him and 3 tails chakra, there was also a cold chakra entrenched in Mizukage's body. In this case, it seems that Mizukage has been hit by something. What's wrong? What's wrong? Terumi-mei looked at Ching suspiciously. I find, as Ching said, she turned her head and looked at the surrounding villagers, and whispered her guess in Terumi-mei's ear. You sure? Terumi-mei stared wide-eyed, looking at Kui in disbelief. I am sure. Terumi-mei fell silent. If 4th Mizukage is under control, it seems that there is a reason for his sudden temperament change. After all, before Goju Yagura became 4th Mizukage, he had a gentle personality and was supported by many people. But as a result, after taking office, he was uncharacteristically and puzzling. Therefore, Terumi-mei realizes that the situation is serious. Take Mizukage-sama to the treatment first. Ow, you are in charge of this matter. Good. Afei, your illusion seems to have been discovered by that guy with white eyes. In a shadow in the distance, White Zetsu said regretfully. It doesn't matter, once that illusion is lifted, Yagura won't live long. Here, I've had enough. For Lin, Obito's revenge on Mist Shinobi is almost the same. Now Kurigakure's strength has plummeted, and the village has long been loose, making it difficult to pose a threat. So where do we go next? Looking for someone, it happens that the official members of the organization haven't been gathered yet. Obito said, no longer caring about the situation here, turned into a vortex and disappeared with White Zetsu. After Terumi Mei asked Ching to take Yagura away, she came to the Mizukage building. How is it going? They're all dead. Judging by the technique, it seems to be a silent assassination technique. Assassination technique? You mean, no more beheading? Terumi Mei and Zabujan are considered to be of the same age, and they are about the same age. They also know that Zabujan actually has a lot of dissatisfaction with Mizukage. Otherwise, they would not have massacred the students who took the exam together and used actions to resist. The Anbu in the Mizukage building were all killed by one blow. Except for his assassination technique, the others couldn't do it at all. Besides him, the Snow Clan who can escape from ice also participated. Isn't the Snow Clan dead? It doesn't seem to be, and, according to the traces of the battle, the opponent's strength should also be at the level of Jonin. Terumi Mei nodded. If it wasn't for Jonin's strength, he wouldn't have forced Master Mizukage to transform into a tailed beast and launch the tailed beast bomb. Especially Mizukage, who broke out, was knocked out unexpectedly. Send someone to arrest him immediately. Yes. It's not clear why Zabujan assassinated Mizukage, but after all, he did it to Mizukage, and the village needs an explanation. With the discovery and orders from Terumi Mei, the ninjas of Mist Shinobi sprang into action. It's just that when they arrived at Zaibi Yuzan's house, Zabi Yuzan had already left. In the woods outside the village. Okay, can you handle it? Naruto asked Zabuza, who was wrapped in a bandage and had done emergency treatment. He was affected by Tailed Beast Bomb. When the Tailed Beast Bomb exploded at that time, Naruto could elementalize, but Zubu couldn't. If Naruto hadn't activated the Flying Thunder God in time and brought Zabuzan back to his home, he would have died on the spot. After a brief bandage, Naruto took him and Shiro to use Flying Thunder God again and left the village. Who are you? Although Zaibi Yuzan was seriously injured, fortunately, he was not fatal and still had the strength to speak. What's the matter? I'm from the Snow Clan. Naruto laughed. He knew that his Flying Thunder God ninjutsu aroused suspicion of Zabujan. I'll take it as you. Zabujan took a deep look at Naruto, and did not continue to ask. And he is not sure if this ninjutsu is the Flying Thunder God technique of the Golden Flash, 4th Hokage Namikaze Minato during the World War III. The reason he wasn't sure was that he didn't see kunai. Unfortunately, it failed. Then he glanced at the village, feeling extremely disappointed. Now that the task is not completed, he will become a traitor. I can only leave here temporarily, recover my strength, and come back again. There is still a chance, don't worry. Anyway, it won't be long before Kurigakure himself will find out the problem with Yagura, and then he will be able to end his rule and bring the village back to life. It's just that at that time, unless you don't kill it, you don't die. What are your plans for the future? Just like you, get out of here. If you don't mind, let's go together. I don't know if it won't be long before the assassination of Mizukage will be discovered, and it may be difficult for him who is already injured to survive in the face of chasing soldiers, so he wants to go with Naruto. At least the other party is not injured, and can escape in ice, full of security. However, what puzzled Zabujan was why he was the only one injured. Mr. Sun was not serious. How did you do it? Okay, but I still have to go somewhere. Where? Do you know how the Teru Yoruichi clan went? A few days later, under the leadership of Zabujan, the three came to the small village where the Yoruichi once lived. Not long ago, because of 4th Mizukage's blood mist, many mist shinobi families with blood successor boundaries killed each other and lost everything. And some of them tried to resist, such as the Wei Yoruichi tribe. The result can be imagined. They attacked Kurigakure, and finally the whole army was wiped out, only Kimimaro survived by chance. It's just that Naruto is not sure if he can find him, if not, they have to leave. Because the pursuers sent behind were getting closer. Basically no one is here anymore, the Kagaya Yoruichi are all dead, there is no doubt about it, you are wasting your time. After a few days of recovery, Zabuzan's injury has healed a bit, and he has more strength to speak. If it wasn't for the sake of Naruto's strength, he would really want to act alone if he didn't kill him, so let's talk about leaving Cheyenne. It's all here, let's take a look and talk, in case there are still people. I don't know what Naruto is looking for, because as far as he knows, the Wei Yoruichi clan has long been extinct. The three of them walked in the village, seeing dilapidated houses, collapsed walls, and weedy streets. The Wei Yoruichi clan can also be regarded as one of the big clans of Mist Shinobi, so the environment they lived in during their lifetime is not bad. It can be seen from the size of the village and the buildings. It's just a pity that under the current situation, they have no room to survive. Of course, the root cause of all this is that Uchiha Madara chose Obito and used Lin in order to find a perfect tool man who could realize his plan. In the end, Obito turned the place upside down in order to avenge Mist Shinobi, complaining a lot. And this is ninja. The piece that Senju Hashirama wanted to create was completely invalid after his death. Interests and war are eternal topics. After a little while. I just said there's no one here. At this time, the three Naruto have already walked out of Kagaya village. As Zabujan said, the place is completely deserted and no one lives. It seems that we can only leave. Naruto sighed. Mist Shinobi is not small, and the land of water is also very big. Not to mention that it is very difficult to identify the direction in the dense fog, let alone find a child who doesn't know where he is wandering. Then hurry up, we are about to be caught up. The three of them accelerated and ran towards the beach. It was just that when passing through a woods, there was a sound of fighting. Wait, there's someone up ahead. Anbu, or another ninja. I don't know, I can only go up and have a look. No matter how much he shook his head, he didn't see anyone, and he couldn't be sure where it was from. Seeing this, Naruto didn't ask any more questions, and approached quietly, and then saw two masked Anbu ninjas attacking a child. Call out. A few shurikens slashed, but were blocked by the kunai made by Kimimaro with his own bones. The bones were very hard, and even if he was hit hard, there was no crack. The people of Mist Shinobi. Kimimaro looked at the two in front of him calmly. Little devil, are you from the Yoruichi tribe? The two ninjas who were ordered to stop the rebellion and ninja met this child here. Through the hair color, face, and the special kunai in Kimimaro's hand, they thought of the Yoruichi tribe who attacked Mist Shinobi. They were surprised that there were still survivors, and they wanted to kill him with one blow. Hurry up to complete the task. It was only after the fight that I realized that this brat was a little too strong, and his physical skills were on par with them. Don't waste time, use ninjutsu to solve it quickly. Seeing that the delay was a bit long, the companion hurriedly spoke. Water-style explosive water rush. Before his seal was finished, Kimimaro rushed over at an extremely fast speed again. The other companion, having finished the seal, pulled out kunai to fight again, trying to block Kimimaro and give the companion time to perform ninjutsu. However, as soon as he got close to Kimimaro, he discovered something was wrong with him. Dead bone pulse dance of Tangsong. Puff, white hard and sharp spikes pierced Kimimaro's body, and even the ninja who had just approached Kimimaro was caught off guard, and his abdomen, heart, and neck were directly pierced, killing him instantly. And the kunai he stabbed at Kimimaro's shoulder actually only pierced the opponent's skin, and couldn't go any further. He died without knowing what happened. 2 woods. The rest of the ninjas looked at their companion who was killed by one blow in shock, feeling panicked. Fortunately, his ninjutsu seal was completed. Water-style water burst. The huge water wave hit Kimimaro hard with a powerful impact, knocking him into the air. Fortunately, he activated his dead bone pulse, and now his defense is extremely high. Even if he was hit, he didn't suffer serious injuries, but he couldn't move. He was crushed to the bottom by the impacting water waves, unable to get up for a while. Go to hell, brat. Seeing the opportunity, the ninja drew his sword in an instant, stepped on the water, came to the struggling Kimimaro, and slashed fiercely towards his neck. Watching the bright long knife slashing, Kimimaro's eyes are still calm, without any fear of death. In his heart, he, who was alone, had long felt that it didn't matter whether he was alive or dead. Anyway, no one cares, no one sees. Just like a flower growing in a corner, no matter how beautiful it blooms, it is meaningless if no one appreciates it. He silently waited for death. Snapped. The long knife stopped, just as it was about to cut his neck. Kimimaro looked up and saw a hand grabbing the ninja's right hand holding the sword. Who? Ah. Before he finished speaking, he realized that his right hand was cold, and then it was extremely painful, and then he became unconscious. The cold air spread, starting from the position where Naruto grabbed, the ice directly covered and quickly enveloped his entire right hand, and then his shoulder. Click. Seeing that the situation was not right, this Anbu ninja jumped back forcefully and broke his right hand. There wasn't even a drop of blood flowing out of the fracture, it had already turned into a block of ice. You, the one who won't kill you during the mission, the guy who can escape from ice. It's over now. It was supposed to intercept and listen to intelligence, but now it's directly encountered. I won't talk about the encounter, but on my side, another one died in the hands of a child. This is the end. Being caught up so quickly. Naruto frowned slightly. No, they didn't come from behind. They should have received an order to intercept us from the outer border of the village. Zai-Bu-Zan walked over, looked at the injured Anbu and replied. That's it. Naruto nodded, and then the body suddenly disappeared. That Anbu's pupils dilated, and the moment he had the thought of turning around quickly to avoid it, his heart ached. He lowered his head slightly, and saw white icicles, stained with his own blood, passing through his body. How are you hurt? The water cleared, and Naruto walked up to Kimimaro and asked. At this time, Kimimaro was about the same age as Bai, but his actual combat ability was much stronger than Bai. Kimimaro is a descendant of the Wei Yoruichi clan, the holder of the blood successor limitation Dead Bone Pulse, who was imprisoned by the tribe as a human shield and weapon when he was young. Later, the Wei Yoruichi tribe attacked Kurigakure, and Kimimaro, the secret weapon, was also released to participate in the battle. In the end, the entire Wei Yoruichi clan was wiped out, leaving only Kimimaro alone. Why save me? I happened to meet, and I just helped out. Naruto explained casually. Why, don't you want to live? To be alive, to die, to be alone, what difference does it make? Kimimaro was imprisoned since he was a child, and after he was released, all his family members died, and he was alone, displaced, and wandering around. I also long for companions in my heart, longing to be watched and cared for. Living must be meaningless, but if you live, you may find interesting things. Just like those two ninjas from Mist Shinobi met you, and you also met me. Naruto stole Orochimaru's words. Orochimaru is a scientist as well as a philosopher, especially with unique views on life and death. Of course, he is not weak in luring children. Just like Kimimaro at this time, when he heard this, he looked up at Naruto in surprise. How could this fierce-looking guy say such gentle words? Kimimaro was touched. How about you? Want to live with me and see interesting things? I will. Kimimaro finally nodded. Successful anti-routine. Get the skill Impure World Reincarnation Ultimate Edition. Bai, you will have a companion in the future. Hi, I'm Bai. Bai was also very happy, walked to Naruto, and introduced himself to Kimimaro. Kimimaro. Bai, take good care of him. Okay, Mr. Sun. Mr. Sun backquote. That's right, you can just call me Mr. Sun from now on. Naruto smiled. Looking at this scene, Zai-Bu-Zan next to him couldn't help thinking. There is actually one survivor from the Wei Yoruichi clan, how did he know? Also, Shiro from the Yuki clan, Kimimaro from the Wei Yoruichi clan, is this guy trying to save Mist Shinobi's blood successor family? Don't cut your thinking to diverge, and think about it wildly. What are you thinking? We should go. Oh, don't cut your head and keep up. At this moment, a Jouhei sound suddenly sounded in the woods. No more cuts. Quote exclamation mark question mark quote. Naruto and the others were forced to stop again. With a bang, a figure appeared, standing in front of them panting. Judging from the size of the figure and hair color, Naruto guessed that this person should be the relatively young future 5th Mizukage, Terumi Mei. Master Terumi Mei, I told you to wait. It's dangerous for you to run so fast alone. Another 3 ninjas followed closely, especially Ching, who was very angry at Terumi Mei's behavior of abandoning the big team without authorization. It is extremely dangerous for Terumi Mei to catch up without knowing Zabujan's purpose and his companion's purpose. If you don't cut it, you won't be able to escape. Terumi straightened out her anger, and then looked angrily at not cutting again. Terumi Mei, no longer silent, although his interpersonal relationship is not very good, but he is still familiar with Terumi-me, and Terumi-me has praised him more than once for the great things he did when he graduated. He also said that he wanted to end the rule of the fourth generation, and he wanted to end it. It's just that Terumi-me can't do as she pleases for a person who doesn't have a family like Zabuza. Just relying on you, you can't stop me. Don't cut the cold voice, Kaido. Give me an explanation. If you don't cut it, why did you assassinate Mizukage? Terumi-me glared. And Ching and the other two ninjas are vigilant against Zabujan, especially the hockey man with unruly blonde hair and fierce face beside Zabujan. The few of them were beating drums in their hearts, regretting not stopping Terumi-me early. No reason, just because he deserves to die. If there is no reason for not beheading, anyway, he is a traitor, so let him bear all this. Terumi-me has a straightforward personality and is extremely irritable. When Zabujan said this, she couldn't help it immediately. Master Terumi-me, be careful, he still has companions. Ching hurriedly grabbed Terumi-me, who was about to run away, and reminded in a low voice, for fear that the two sides would fight, and then, when the man made a move, Ching doubted whether they would be able to return alive. The pressure from the opponent is really too strong. Companion. Terumi-me paused, and swept her eyes. First, she noticed the two young children, and she couldn't help wondering, what's the situation if she ran away and dragged her family with her? Then I saw Naruto, who was wearing a samurai uniform, showing his extremely strong arms, tall, and with a cold face. At first glance, Terumi-me thought she met someone from Cloud Shinobi. After all, only Cloud Shinobi's ninjas can train their muscles like this. But this person in front of him, although his muscles are exploding, but his figure is very slender, especially the other person's complexion, one can tell that he is not a barbarian from Cloud Shinobi at a glance, and his eyes are full of mighty haki. Just at that stop, just full of momentum. Very extraordinary. Terumi-me has already reached the marriageable age, and even said that if you don't hurry up, this time will pass. Although at this moment she has been obsessed with her career, busy thinking about how to change the situation of Miss Shinobi, but when she is free, she also thinks about what kind of man she will marry, and she also looks forward to what she will look like when she gets married. Although she likes handsome and cute ones, when she sees Naruto like this, she feels that this kind of powerful one is not bad. It's not Cloud Shinobi's black barbarian. Terumi-me said that he can take a look. Master Terumi-me. Master. Ah, cough cough, distracted. Ching pulled Terumi-me's sleeve and yelled several times, finally calling her back to her soul. At the same time, I was a little worried of the king. Master Terumi-me must have taken a fancy to that guy, right? That's rebellion with Zabujan. Especially if they don't know the identity of the other party, they just suspect that he will be a member of the Snow Clan. And when Naruto saw Terumi-me staring at him intently, he couldn't help but think, Terumi-me likes Monkey King. Who are you? Bow of the Snow Clan. Terumi-me asked Naruto directly. If you want to know the other person's name, of course you need to ask directly. Snow Clan, son, right. Terumi-me nodded and confirmed that he was among the people who attacked Master Mizukage together with Zabujan. And judging from how Mizukage-sama was knocked out, this person's strength must be stronger than no kill. If you don't cut it, I'll just say it straight. Did you find out that Master Mizukage is controlled by illusion, so you want to test and rescue Master Mizukage? Do not cut again. I do not know what you're talking about. If you don't cut your face and be expressionless, you are actually very puzzled. Mizukage-sama is being controlled by illusion. Real or fake? Don't cut it, don't hide it, we all know it. Because of your assassination, Master Mizukage was injured and unconscious. When I checked him again, Ching's white eyes found that Master Mizukage had an illusion. No matter how hard it is because someone used illusion to control Mizukage-sama these years, which caused him to do so many things against his will. And the guy hiding behind is the Uchiha tribe who owns the Sharingan. You've already discovered these things, haven't you? Terumi-me looked excited. Before coming here, Mizukage's illusion was also removed. Yagura told the fact that he was controlled by someone, and pointed out that he was controlled by Sharingan, and the other party's pupil technique is powerful. Even the three tails in his body were controlled, unable to break free. But then he learned that the Uchiha clan was wiped out overnight by their own people. Combined with the time controlled by illusion, it can't be Uchiha Itachi. Now, Yagura and Master Yuan don't know who the masked Uchiha is, and it's even possible that the other party has betrayed Uchiha early on. Song has never been publicized. But it must be related to an organization named Shao. Goju Yagura once played against Obito, Nagato, and Konan. The opponent wore a uniform and called himself Akatsuki. Here, those who heard Terumi's unspoken words were no longer silent. He only knew that Mizukage had problems, was extreme in his actions, and had a tyrannical personality, but he never thought that he was actually controlled by others. This can also explain why Yagura's personality changed drastically. But facing Terumi Mei's question, I can't answer it again. Because he really doesn't know the secrets behind the scenes. He really wanted to kill Goju Yagura. This is embarrassing. If you don't cut it, you talk. No more chopping. So what, even if I tell you the truth, would you believe it? Did you have a chance to get close to Mizukage and check him with blank eyes? So if you don't kill him, you can only make this bad strategy, sacrifice yourself, and attract your attention, but fortunately, his goal has been achieved. Quote. Seeing that Zabujan didn't speak, Naruto directly spoke for him. The explanation was very reasonable, making Zabujan think that was what he thought. If you don't cut it again, thank you for your hard work. Terumi Mei looked at Zabuza with a complicated expression. Without him, indeed according to what Sun said, they would have no way of knowing that something was wrong with Mizukage, or even being controlled. But now, following the assassination of Zaibuzan, all this has been exposed, and the truth has finally come to light. Restoring Mizukage to normal will also end the bloody mist and give Mist Shinobi a restful life. Should, Zaibuzan coyly said, it's not his credit, and it feels a bit embarrassing for him to admit it. And Naruto thinks about Obito's matter, Mizukage has been exposed, he should leave Mist Shinobi, but he doesn't know what he will do next. If you don't cut it, you don't have to run away. We will come forward and explain it to you. Zabujan was stunned, things were changing so fast, he was a little stunned. Although his assassination failed, but the goal has been achieved, he does not have to become a traitor and betray the village. So, going back, then how do you plan to solve the issue of Mizukage being controlled? Will you announce it directly? Naruto asked. Terumi Mei hesitated. Mizukage is controlled by the Uchiha tribe who owns the Sharingan. Once it is announced, it will inevitably arouse the hatred of the Kurigakure people towards Konoha. Especially in these years, how many people have died from Mist Shinobi, and those blood-inherited ninjas are all dead. Now that Mist Shinobi's strength has plummeted, if the news is exposed, Konoha will definitely not recognize it, and it will also arouse the coveting of other ninja villages, and the situation will be at odds. Or is it the end of the failure to assassinate Mizukage as a rebellious ninja? It seems that I can't go back to the village for the time being. Take the blame, this is a compulsory course for every ninja, you don't need to take the blame, but you have to know how to take the blame. It would not be stupid not to kill. He saw Terumi Mei's hesitation, and knew that with the strength of Mist Shinobi at this time, it is not appropriate to attract too much attention from the outside world, but should develop silently, take a good rest. If you confront Konoha too early and pursue responsibility, you won't get any compensation. With their weakened strength, they are not qualified to talk to Konoha at all. Therefore, this matter can only be endured temporarily, and the old matter can only be brought up again after their strength recovers. If you don't cut it off, I can't confirm this. Why don't you go back with me first and see what Master Yuan has to say? If I go back, I can still get out. He doesn't want to be like Sand Shinobi's Yikang, who is clearly Sand Shinobi's hero, but ends up being a victim of the Sand Shinobi and Mist Shinobi alliance. Therefore, even if he is really for the good of Mist Shinobi, what he does is right, but if he has to be sacrificed, the village will not hesitate. Who told him he was just a little Anbu? No more beheading. Trust me, I will keep you safe. Terumi Mei became anxious. She was sincere, especially Zabujan's strength is good. Terumi Mei didn't want such a talent to betray Mist Shinobi like the 7 ninja swordsmen. Whoosh. At this moment, the big team that pursued and never killed finally caught up with Terumi Mei. If you don't cut it again, let's capture it. If you don't kill me again, you dare to assassinate Mizukage-sama, come back with us to stand trial. No more cuts. In an instant, a dozen people surrounded Zabujan and Naruto. She looked at Terumi-Mei with no doubts. Didn't it mean that Mizukage was controlled by illusion? Did you know that he assassinated Mizukage for the sake of the village? Why do these people seem to be ignorant? Don't cut it down again, because the matter is important, and not many people know about it for the time being. Terumi-Mei said awkwardly. Because Master Yuan said, keep it secret. Wait for the BJBF regiment to be clear and the business to be better before making a decision. Therefore, except for the personal guards such as Terumi-Mei and Ching who knew the situation, most of the ninjas still stayed at the level of not beheading and assassinating Mizukage. Now in their eyes, if they don't cut them off, it is treason and forbearance. I see. Bu Yuzan laughed again. Now he is more sure, once he goes back, there is a 90% chance of being blamed and executed, and there is a 10% chance of sending him to prison because of Terumi-Mei and his loyalty. It would be better to leave Mist Shinobi directly. Although he still has the identity of rebellious ninja, from Zabujan's point of view, as long as Mist Shinobi walks in a good direction, the stigma will be born, as long as he is still alive. Don't cut it again. Don't be impulsive. Everyone, don't make a move, wait for me to persuade you before cutting it. Terumi-Mei said loudly. What else to say? Let's talk about it back in the village. That's right, Master Terumi-Mei. The order we received is to take it back alive first, and if we encounter resistance, we will live or die. How could this be? Terumi-Mei looked at the talking ninja in disappointment. How about it? Are you disappointed? Do you want me to take you away? Naruto smiled at Zabuza. Have already guessed, then there is nothing to be disappointed. No more chopping and shaking his head. Okay, let's go then. Wait, I hope you will be merciful, to save their lives. If I don't kill them again, I don't want these people to die in the hands of Sun in vain, and once again lose their vitality. You are really kind, but I agree, if you don't cut it off, you owe me one time, how about it? Quote. Think clearly, a dozen lives are not so easy to pay back. I know, that's good. Naruto laughed when he heard a satisfactory answer. He planned to have Zabuza teach Shiro and Kimimaro while he was back in Konoha. Now I don't need to work for Mist Shinobi anymore, I don't need to accept various employments to make money, and I have incomparable freedom. Therefore, under the shackles of the promise, I shouldn't mind helping Naruto take care of a few children. After all, it is still very trustworthy not to cut. No more chopping. Wait, stop it. Terumi-Mei saw that Zabujan and Sun had reached a certain kind of deal, and Terumi-Mei, who also didn't want to hurt both sides, hurriedly spoke to stop it, and even wanted to do it, but she was held back by the people behind her. Sorry, Master Terumi-Mei, this is the order of Master Yuan. Do it. Following the order, more than a dozen people immediately drew their knives and seals, and rushed towards the 4 people in the field. Just then, Terumi-Mei saw Sun smile. This hockey-faced, unsmiling Sun actually smiled at this moment. She suffered a sudden cardiac arrest. Let's see what is the aura of a strong man. Naruto put his hands in his arms, smiled slightly at the corners of his mouth, and opened his mouth gently. I was a little flustered if I didn't cut it again. I don't understand why Sun didn't make a move. Bai looked nervous, but he believed in Mr. Sun. Kimimaro silently clenched the bone kunai in his hand. Hey, Conqueror's hockey, useless. Boom. Suddenly, there was a loud bang in everyone's mind, and the whole world in front of them quickly turned into black and white. Their thinking stagnated, and they forgot what they were going to do in their tasks. All of a sudden, no matter if they were standing in the distance and preparing to use ninjutsu, or those who had already drawn their knives and rushed over, or those who had already jumped into the air and were about to throw their shurikens, under the impact of Conqueror's hockey, their brains immediately ached. Distracted, rolled his eyes and immediately fell to the ground. This. How is it possible? Sun. Before Terumi-Mei lost consciousness, she still saw that smiling and full of hockey face. This moment, this face, will be imprinted in Terumi-Mei's heart forever. You. Zabujan pointed at Naruto as if he had seen a ghost, speechless in surprise. How the hell did you do that? That wasn't ninjutsu just now, it was aura. What kind of aura is this? It's so powerful. No more chopping, it feels like I just stood next to a tailed beast. And it's not the kind of good-tempered 3 tails, it should be the most powerful 9 tails that can bring him this kind of fear. He looked at the dozen or so ninjas who were about to make a move just now, but he just passed out in an instant, and he was so shocked that he couldn't speak. This was the first time he felt the gap between being a ninja, and it was also the first time he had a concept of the so-called god of ninja. Perhaps, the so-called aura of the gods is just like this. In the land of fire, in a small town. After several days of rushing, the four of Naruto finally left the sea in the deserted place. This made Naruto feel like he hadn't seen it for a long time, and the climate and environment in the land of fire were the most comfortable. It rained all day in the land of rain, and Kurigakure was filled with fog all day long, which made Naruto's mood always low, and his mood couldn't get up. And Bai's mood is also very happy. He was born in Mist Shinobi. He didn't know the outside world is so blue, the color is so bright, the temperature is so warm. This makes him feel very lucky to be able to meet such a good man as Mr. Sun. Especially the strength, so powerful. Naruto's Conqueror's Haki impact that day not only left a psychological shadow on Zabujan, but also made Shiro and Kimimaro extremely admired. They swear in their hearts, Mr. Sun, they are destined to follow in this life. Besides, Bai was very happy. Kimimaro was much calmer, but the curious look in his eyes had already betrayed him. If you don't cut it, I will leave temporarily. You want to go? Buzan looked at him in surprise, but it's normal to think about it. After all, Sun is powerful, so he must have his own things to do, but what should he do? If you don't kill me again, remember your promise. Of course, is there anything you want me to do? Nodding seriously, Mist Shinobi's dozens of lives were enough to change his life, but he didn't see that Sun wanted his life. Help me take care of Shiro and Kimimaro. What, you're not taking them with you? Inconvenient. Naruto also wanted to bring Shiro and Kimimaro with him, but he couldn't do it, not even a piece of their Konoha ID. But, Buzan frowned. Bai and Kimimaro were found by Sun. They were very dependent on Sun, and they were very loyal. They basically said the same thing and obeyed orders. He estimated that if Sun left, the two of them should be very sad. If you don't kill them, you can repay your promise by taking care of them. I hope you can teach them how to be a real ninja. The shortest is 3 to 5 years, and the longest is 6 years. I will come back. I agreed. If I don't cut my head and nod, anyway, I have nothing to do, and it is more than enough to take care of 2 children, just to pass the time while paying back favors. How to teach is up to you, just keep them alive. With the previous Bai as an example, it is still possible not to cut off the ability to teach others. I see. If you teach well, then I will give you a gift, beheading sword. Do you like it? Decapitating sword. Speaking of this, Zabuzan's eyes lit up. The 7 ninja swordsmen are strong men that every child in the village admires. I really want to be a member of the crowd if I don't kill it, but I have never had a chance. The 7 people died and fled, but they couldn't find them at all, and he couldn't touch the rest of the ninja knives. Isn't it in the hands of Loquat Tenzang? Can you take it? Yes, but it's not necessary. Don't worry, I'll send it to you when I get it. Okay, I'll wait. Here, after Naruto had discussed with Zabujan, he gave instructions to Shiro and Kimimaro. He said that he was going to do a very dangerous thing and couldn't take them with him, so he handed them over to Zaibi and waited for him to come back. In addition, the two should study hard with Zabujan. Bai worked hard to develop ice escape, and Kimimaro practiced martial arts well, especially Kimimaro. Naruto asked him to use dead bone pulse less, so that he could live for a few more years. Orochimaru can't help this hematological disease, let alone him. After giving instructions and leaving a sum of money, Naruto left. At this time, Bai and Kimimaro have the Flying Thunder God mark on their bodies. As long as they reach the perception range, Naruto can find them, so there is no need to worry about their disappearance. And these two are still children. Unlike ordinary adults and ninjas, they are very loyal and pure to Naruto. They are the kind who can repay Naruto's kindness with their lives, and there is no need to worry about them leaving or betraying. Of course, in order to avoid this from happening, Naruto will still find opportunities to meet and exchange feelings with them. Then Naruto was about to return directly to Konoha. Just when he took out any door, Naruto suddenly remembered something. Both Shiro and Kimimaro have been found. Why don't we bring Kaorin here? Thinking about it this way, Naruto decided to take a trip. Isn't it the land of grass? Not too far. The country of grass. Hidden Grass Village, is located next to the Country of Rain, and its area is about the same size as the Country of Rain. Established good diplomatic relations with Konoha, domestic political corruption. Because it is between the Country of Fire, the Country of Wind, and the Country of Earth, every time a war breaks out, it will be reduced to a war zone just like the Country of Rain, which is terrible. Rot. At any rate, the Land of Rain is also guarded by Hanzo of the Salamander, known as the half-god, so the grass has completely become a place where wars frequently occur. After all, whether it is Konoha, Rock Shinobi, or Sand Shinobi, they don't want the war to destroy their living environment, so they can only sacrifice other people. This is also what prompted the birth of Yahiko, a boy full of ideals to end the war and bring peace to the ninja world. With the end of the Third Ninja World War, the Country of Grass also resumed its diplomacy with Konoha, and its strength began to gradually recover. Then, while the amount of tasks continued to increase, the ninjas in Kalyan village were injured and the rate of search and damage gradually increased. Because the ninjas in Kalyan village are relatively average in strength and cannot be compared with the 5 great ninja villages, even if it is some simple escort missions and missions to wipe out bandits, every time they go out, they will come back with a few wounded. But they don't care because they have humanoid pills. Boom. A dilapidated door was slammed open, precariously looking as if it was about to fall completely in the next second. 3 ninjas wearing grass-hidden village forehead protectors walked out of the house with smiles on their faces. This woman's healing ability is getting worse and worse. It only took 3 minutes to heal the injury, but now it takes 10 minutes. Not because she's dying. This is not good. If she dies, we will be injured and no one will be able to treat us. Doesn't she have a daughter? As her daughter, she should have the same ability as her. You mean, let's try after this woman dies? Hey, of course I have to try. Seeing these people leave, a thin figure ran into the house in a hurry. Naruto appeared silently, saw Xionglan, and heard the words of those people, feeling extremely heavy. He knew that if he didn't come at this time, the phosphonium would also become the so-called human-shaped pill in their mouths, and until Orochimaru found the phosphonium, that was after the Chunin exam, so the phosphonium would have to suffer at least 5 years. Thinking of this, Naruto silently followed the 3. Xionglan found it, so he was not in a hurry. But for these 3 people, Naruto didn't want them to live for a moment. Inferno-style Amaterasu. Naruto used the reward he got from Sasuke, Black Flame, to set the 3 ninjas of Hidden Grass on fire. Immediately, the 3 of them, unable to move or even make a sound, had ferocious faces and bulging veins on their necks. In the black flames, they endured the torment comparable to hell, tears streaming down their cheeks. They didn't know how they offended the blonde man in front of them. They only knew that he suddenly appeared in front of them and stretched out his hand to them, and they couldn't move. They just wanted to speak, but they lost their voice for some reason. They couldn't open their mouths even if they wanted to question, and they wanted to shout out in pain, but they were like dumb, unable to make a sound. You have enjoyed so many favors from others, and now it is time to repay them. Naruto spoke indifferently to Kusanagi, who was controlled by Sunflower Acupuncture Pointer and Silence Technique, and then turned and left, letting the black flames continue to burn until they were completely burned. And at this time, the 750 people who heard Naruto's words immediately thought of the woman in their minds, the woman who had overdrawn her life for them since she came to Kalyan village. Kalyan village is over. Quote, before dying, they flashed such a thought. In the dilapidated house, Xiao Xionglan was lying beside the bed, looking at her mother with tears in her eyes. The room was simple and dilapidated, with few pieces of furniture. There was a bed against the wall, and a pale, aging woman with gray hair was lying on it. Judging from her appearance alone, she seems to be in her 50s, but her actual age is only in her 20s. Mother. Fragrant phosphorus. Mother. I can't hold on anymore. You must live well, especially, you can't expose your ability like mine. Uzumaki Mina said weakly. She knew she was going to die. Even though she was a long-lived Uzumaki clan, she had already exhausted her life force and chakra. At this time, she regretted her original decision very much. Why did she come to Kalyan village? Why did she accidentally expose her ability? She originally thought that Kalyan village was a small village. As a member of the Whirlpool clan, she would not be discovered or used as a tool. Compared to those knowledgeable Darren villages, she should be safer. But she still underestimated the ninja's greed and the cruelty of the outside world. The country of Uzumaki was besieged by the major ninja villages because they were afraid of the power of the sealing technique and coveted the sealing technique. Even though they established a friendly relationship with Konoha, they still failed to wait for Konoha's help and were destroyed. Uzumaki Mina tried her best to avoid the disaster with Xianglin and lingered here. Perhaps this is the fate of the Uzumaki clan. Uzumaki Mina thought so more than once, resenting the injustice of fate, hating this cruel world. If it wasn't for Xianglin, Mina might have ended her life long ago. Xianglin, get out of here, otherwise, you will become like me sooner or later. Mom, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving you. It's useless, I'm going to die. But Xianglin, you have to live well. Even knowing that the chance of Xianglin escaping is very slim, but if she had a choice, Mina would rather Xianglin be killed while escaping than become a tool and suffer pain like her. Mother. Boom. Fortunately, he is not dead, otherwise my injury would not be healed. At this time, not long after the three people who had just left, two grass ninjas came in, one of them was covered in blood, and there was a long wound on his abdomen. Little devil, go away, don't delay the treatment of the uncle. No, my mother is dying, please let her go. Xianglin stood in front of the bed and opened his hands to stop him. Isn't this still dead? Get out. The man slapped him in displeasure, causing Xianglin to fall to the ground. Stop, don't bully Xianglin. Uzumaki Mina's struggling request, her eyes were full of distress and resentment. You'd better not die so easily, otherwise, your daughter will replace you, and I think she should be the same as you. Kusanagi looked at Xianglin and smiled cruelly. The two, humanoid pills, dared to resist. Don't blot, I'm going to die of pain. The injured ninja interrupted his companion's dissatisfaction, sat on the edge of the bed, took Mina's hand, and looked at the arm full of bite marks with disgust. He still wants to find a clean place, but where has this woman not been bitten all over her body? He was about to shut his mouth in disgust. Since you are going to die, what are you still working so hard for? A voice suddenly sounded. Who? Kusanagi, who was not injured, turned around vigilantly, but before anyone saw it, he found that he couldn't move. The same was true for the injured one. He watched a tall blonde man appear in front of his eyes, opened his fingers, and let go of the woman's hand. Mother. When Xianglin saw someone appearing, she subconsciously stood in front of Mike and Uzumaki. It's okay, Xianglin. Daughter you. My name is Vortex Naruto. The Vortex. But your hair. When Mina heard the word, Vortex, she suddenly became excited, her daughter was saved. It's just that this blonde hair doesn't belong to the Uzumaki clan no matter how you look at it. Forehead. Naruto was embarrassed. Regarding this issue, I can only say that Namikaze Minato is very powerful. With his own power, he directly changed the dominant gene characteristics of the Whirlpool family. My mother is Uzumaki Kushina, as you should know, and my father is Sleepy Leaf 4th Hokage Namikaze Minato. As Naruto said, he released the transformation technique and restored it to its original state. Xianglin looked at the suddenly smaller Naruto in surprise and doubt. The same is true for Uzumaki Mina. She did not expect that this person is Kushina's child, and even more unexpected that Naruto's real appearance is actually a child of only a few years old. Kushina, is she okay? Mina, who knew nothing about the outside world, didn't know the situation in the ninja world at this time, and thought that Kushina, who had gone to Konoha, would not be as miserable as her, and would live well. Actually my parents died when I was born. Dead. Is this the fate of the Whirlpool clan? Mina smiled sadly. This is the ninja world, this is the ninja, isn't it? Naruto felt the same way. The Whirlpool clan that was wiped out, and the known Whirlpool clansmen who were outside, seemed to have a good life. The Whirlpool Kushina became the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, imprisoned in Konoha, and if it wasn't for Obito, she would be the best one in life. Next is Uzumaki Naruto, himself. He also became Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, who suffered from the eyes of the village since he was a child. Then there is the Vortex Nagato, who was directly selected by Uchiha Madara and became a toolman in his plan to revive him, and was nearly killed by Rinnegan. Finally, there is Uzumaki Kafos and her mother. The hardships and pains involved are inhumane. At this time, the two Kusanagi who were immobilized, heard Naruto's words and set off a storm in their hearts. Konoha 4th Hokage's son actually came to Hidden Grass Village. No, it should be, does 4th Hokage Namikaze Minato's son actually look like this? This is important information. Come on man. That's right, this is the fate of the ninja. Naruto, can you take Kaorin out of here? Although Naruto is only a few years old, about the same age as his own daughter, but since Naruto can hold down 2 Kusanagi with one move, he should be capable, right? Moreover, Uzumaki Mina, who is also part of the Uzumaki family, did not doubt Naruto's identity. After all, her perception is still usable, so she can naturally feel that Naruto has the same physique as hers. And some monster inside Naruto. That should be Konoha's 9 tails. The reason why Konoha went to 3 people from the Uzumaki clan, isn't it because of their powerful sealing skills and unique physique that are most suitable for being the Jinchuriki who seal the 9 tails? Beginning with Mito the Vortex, to Kushina the Vortex, and then Kushina's son. Okay, I will protect her well, it's you. I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do. The life is overdrawn, the oil is exhausted, and the lamp is dry, not to mention that Naruto doesn't have the recovery pill, even if he has it, it can't save Mina's life. I know, but it doesn't matter, as long as Xianglin lives well. Mina looked at Xianglin full of reluctance. Mother. Xianglin wept bitterly. Naruto, can I trust you? Okay, although I don't know how to convince you, but I swear by my mother Kushina, I will definitely protect Xianglin. If I can't, let me be 9 tails. Kurama. Naruto really doesn't want to use the name of Kushina, but there is no way, compared to others, perhaps only the Uzumaki people can reassure Mina. I believe it, Xianglin, from now on the child will follow Naruto. Things have come to this, Uzumaki Mina has nothing to do, compared to Kusanagi Shinobi, Naruto is at least half Uzumaki clansman, no matter how you say it, it won't make Kaorin too miserable, right? Mother, Xianglin, you must be well. Uzumaki Mina said, took a last look at Kaorin, and slowly closed her eyes. Now, she can finally sleep peacefully. Mother. Xianglin threw herself into Mina's arms and shouted desperately. Naruto was silent. At this moment, there was a sudden movement outside the door. What sound? Is it Xianglin's? Could it be that the woman is dead? It's disgusting. He died so easily. What shall we do in the future? Who will heal the wound? Isn't there still fragrant phosphorus? Although Xianglin is the child of this woman, I don't know if she has inherited her mother's ability. HMPH. You'll know if you try it. That's right. I just came back from outside and consumed a lot of chakra, let me try the first bite. Roll. The 4 or 5 Kusanagi who were attracted by the cries of Xianglin were talking and laughing as they were about to enter the door. However, as soon as they got closer, they saw a child with blonde hair and a beard coming out of it, looking at them indifferently. Where did the kid come from? Hey kid, is that woman dead? I'm asking you something. You're dumb. Go away. One person didn't say a word when he saw Naruto, lost his patience, stepped forward and stretched out his hand, about to push him aside, and then suddenly, 10 bright lights flashed past. He didn't respond until his right hand was suddenly disconnected, and he still raised his half-handed hand and looked in front of him in a daze. Ah! Severe pain suddenly struck, as well as fear, sweeping his whole heart. He kept stepping back while clutching his hands, and accidentally sat down on the ground, screaming in pain. The ninjas next to him were all startled, and looked at Naruto who was standing with his sword, all of them were stunned. This brat, what a speed, who the hell is he? Ah, what are you waiting for, kill him. Hurry up. The man clutching his broken arm roared angrily when he saw that his companion was in a daze. Yeah, kill him, fire-style ghost lantern. The companions who reacted, Chi-Chi formed seals, and launched fire-style ninjutsu. Suddenly, blazing flames floated around like hanging lanterns. Naruto didn't care, and raised his right tail. Ice Age. Quote. For a moment, with Naruto as the center, the 180-degree range in front of him directly turns white. Whether it's the ninja in the seal, or the house in front of him, they all suddenly turned into ice sculptures, as if they had come to a world of ice and snow. Lost the fire style maintained by chakra, also dissipated into the air. Squeak. The door behind him was pushed open, and Xianglin walked out cautiously, looking at the whiteness in front of him in shock. Are you ready to leave? Yes, yes. Naruto, brother Naruto. Xianglin, who came back to his senses, nodded. His heart was full of sadness and confusion about the future. Wait a moment. Naruto walks into the house, activates Kamui, traps Mikan in the vortex and transfers. Let's go, let's find a place to bury your mother. Naruto took Xianglin's hand, activated the Flying Thunder God mark left outside Kaoyan village, and left the place. The sudden change here also attracted the attention of other people in Kaoyan village, and immediately a large number of ninjas rushed towards this side. Outside Kaoyan village, on a high mountain at the junction of the land of grass and the land of fire. It is sparsely populated, with lush vegetation, and the scenery is very good. You can see the land of fire full of green behind you, and you can also see the hidden grass village from here. In front of a stone tablet, the words Whirlpool Mina are engraved on the stone tablet. Xianglin put down a bunch of freshly picked flowers. Mom, rest in peace, I will live on. Naruto stood aside, silently watching Xianglin say goodbye. After a while, Xianglin walked over with red eyes. Brother Naruto, where are we going next? At this time, the only thing that Xianglin can rely on is Naruto. Naruto not only took her and her mother away from Hidden Grass Village, but also helped Xianglin find a good place to bury her mother, which made Xianglin grateful. Go to the land of fire. Yes, Xianglin, do you hate them? I hate. As long as she thinks of the pain that Uzumaki Mina has suffered, Kaorin can't help but clenched her fists. In that case, let me give you a present. What gift? Kaorin looked up at Naruto with tear-stained eyes. Naruto smiled slightly, and stretched out his fingers across the corner of Korin's eyes, leaving a teardrop. Just let them feel the weight of your tears. Naruto remembered that, in the mass explosion magic, the heat released by the decomposition of a drop of water and 50 milligrams of mass is equivalent to 1,000 tons of TNT. In other words, the drop of terror on Naruto's fingertip at this time is enough to destroy the entire Kaoyan village after being released. With the activation of the magic, the tear slowly detached from Naruto's finger, stood in the air, and then was affected by some kind of energy, and began to emit light, which became more and more intense, like a dazzling sun, which made Xianglin couldn't help covering its eyes. In the next second, shining tears pierced the sky, like a shooting star, rushing towards Kaoyan village. That was the last and most beautiful sight Kusanagi saw. A huge mushroom cloud rose into the sky. From then on, Kaoyan village was directly destroyed. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.